feel alive. Morning starts with our
Good morning, my little peaches. The time is 7:02 on this Thursday morning. Good morning, Bill.
I think it's a Friday
I
when I'm
know.
here, but yeah, it's Thursday. Good to be with you. Good morning,
Thank
Therese.
you. I do appreciate you coming in today. Today's a very important day. We obviously are, if you look at our background, it's never forget. We're remembering 9/11. It's been 24 years, if you can believe that.
I can't. I was on the air alone. I was still at ZZK then with Patty, and Patty was on vacation, so I was doing the morning show alone. And I'll never that I ended up, going on at 5 that morning. All that started happening about 7-ish our time or 6-something our time. And I got off the air at 3 that afternoon, never left because we stayed on. We opened the phone lines. We took feeds and break-ins, and then we talked to listeners. And it was, it was my Pearl Harbor. It was the thing I remember most. And it was an amazing next, week. But it was, 24 years ago. I can't believe I've gotten so old.
Yeah, I can't. It's hard to believe it's been that much time that's passed.
Do you remember it when it happened?
Oh, exactly. I knew exactly where I was going, what I was doing. I mean, that affected me in a way that I've never really recovered.
I don't think anybody that was cognizant. If you were old enough to be aware of what that was happening and what happened. Mm-hmm. I don't think everybody can tell you. It's like when my parents always talked about, they remember the moment they heard about Pearl Harbor. Well, I remember in my lifetime, my big tragedies that are milestones for me was John F. Kennedy's assassination.
Right.
I was in school when that happened. Robert Kennedy, Martin Luther King. Then the Vietnam War was just kind of continuous. So it doesn't stand out as one big event to me. It's just a long-term thing.
Right.
Then there was the Challenger explosion.
Yes,
I remember that.
One.
Brilliant. And then, of course, in 9/11. So, 24 years ago.
Yeah. It
put us in one of the longest wars we've ever been in.
Mm-hmm,
in the history of the United States.
And I tell you, it was a time where our nation came together like it had never come together before.
You saw American flags on people's cars and in their yards. People were looking at each other differently. They were suddenly, all these little petty differences dissolved, and we were under attack. We were all together. Mm-hmm. I don't want anything like that to happen again, but I wish we could get a little closer to that acceptance of everybody being, I'm not white, I'm not black, I'm not man, I'm not woman, I'm American.
Right.
And we're all Americans. Mm-hmm. And you may disagree with other people's thoughts and politics and religions and lifestyles, but we still are all Americans, and we've got to protect each other because we're all we got.
Yeah, that's right. Because these other countries aren't out there trying to protect us. They're trying to do away with us.
Right. There's people that want us
off the map.
Gone off the face of the earth.
Yeah, I remember that Alan Jackson, they went ahead and did the awards that week.
Right, they did.
And Alan Jackson did a song like that, Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning?
And that is one of the greatest tribute songs I think ever written. It was brilliant.
It was, wasn't a dry eye. It made, I got a lump here.
I still listen to it now.
Yeah.
It's been 24 years since he wrote that song and performed it the first time, and every time I hear it, I go, boy, what a song. I heard it just the other, of course, people are playing it a lot today.
Yeah, there's a lot of American songs, that are going to be played today.
Yeah. Daryl Worley's.
Oh, yeah.
Have you forgot? What is it?
Have You Forgotten?
Have You Forgotten, yeah.
Which is, he did that one after because so many people they had forgotten. We were unified, and then all of a sudden we were back divided again.
Of course, you get Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA.
Yes, but then you had Toby Keith.
Oh, yeah. He was ready to kick their butt.
Yeah, we'll put a boot in your behind.
Yeah. And then poor Heath's gone now.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Well, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Oh, let's thank our sponsors
Let's thank our
first.
sponsors.
Yeah.
Today is going to be a unique day because we have Jared Hudson coming in.
I'm so
we're
excited
so
about
excited
that.
to have him. He is a former military man. Navy SEAL to be specific. He is a former police officer. He also is the founder of Covenant Rescue Group. Where
Amazing
they
group.
Go in and rescue women and children from human trafficking, which is really the main reason I wanted him here because of all the things that have been going on around lately.
We're also naive. We talked about this Monday, but nobody, I think, really has a grasp on how big a problem human trafficking is and getting these young girls, luring them, hooking them on drugs, and then prostituting them and abusing them. And a lot of them end up dead. And it's huge. It's not a little thing. And so God bless Jared for his group and all the other groups. There's several other groups like we Hate Monsters, I think is one of them, or We Kill Monsters or something. But there's a lot of groups that are starting to really mobilize on that stuff. So, yeah, he also teaches since he was a Navy SEAL. And also, he kept going back, and he must have some good skills because the SEAL teams kept bringing him back to help consult. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But he also has the Shooting Institute, I think it's called, or whatever, and he teaches tactics and shooting and self-defense and that sort of stuff.
All of that stuff, yeah. But he's
a committed Christian.
He's also running for Senate.
He is running for Tuberville's old spot.
Yes, he is. And it's because Tuberville is running for governor, so we had to vacate that seat. So, we're excited to have him. He graciously accepted our invitation to come on with us, and I could not be more excited about it.
So he should be here about 7:30, right?
No, 8:30.
I mean 8:30.
8:30, yeah.
8:30.
And we're going to probably go long today, so y'all go ahead and get ready.
Right.
We're going to have a lot, and today is...
There's so much that we need to talk to him. He's got his life, what he stands for, the things he's doing. The guy's a dynamo, and we've got... That's the sad thing is we could probably keep him here till next Thursday.
Exactly.
There's so much to talk to with him.
Yeah, and he's a motivational speaker. He's all...
He's a dynamo.
He is. He's a dynamo.
I hope I don't have to whoop his butt. He probably knows how to kill me with a speck of dirt on his little finger. He's a SEAL.
Yeah, he's a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
He could... So
he might look at me and I may just fall out of the chair.
Yeah, exactly. So we're very excited and honored, first and foremost, to have him come on there because I know he's busy with all of his projects that he has going on.
He's amazing.
But the fact that he's taking time out today is
to come talk to us.
Little Papa Peach Radio.
It's amazing.
We're excited.
Tell your friends. Tune in.
Exactly.
8:30.
And then, there's just today is an emotional day, and we'll get to that. There's a multifaceted
Not just
reasons
because
of
9/11.
It's just there is an elephant in the room, and we are gonna address it. And you will have to forgive me because today is an emotional day. I'm probably gonna cry. I am probably going to get mad. I'm probably going to say some things you probably were not expecting to fly out of my mouth.
This is Morning Mayhem.
This is Morning Mayhem, and I'm going to... Here's the day where I tell it like it is, and if I hurt your feelings, it's not intended to hurt your feelings, but I'm not sorry. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that. I'm not going to apologize for my thoughts and the way I feel about something. That would be fake, and I'm not going to do that. So we are going to address some things. And I want, try to keep it, try to keep things at bay, but I am wound up tighter than a stopwatch right now. So we'll talk about that. But first, I want to thank our morning show sponsors. I want to thank let's start again. Thank our sponsors, Chilton Mobile Home Supply. Thank you to Julia and Jim. We appreciate y'all. And they have some news they're going to, I think, come in maybe next week and talk about. So exciting news for them. Also, thank you to Julie Holderfield and Country Financial Insurance. Julie can help you with all of your insurance needs, and she can even help you with some financial planning as well, investments, things like that. Central Alabama Wellness, Zena Cardwell, she is one of our very favorite people in the whole wide world, and she has her own show that comes on 9 o'clock on Saturday mornings, goes from 9 until 10. It's called Empower Hour with Zena, and if you want a blessing and a treat and you want to get filled up, well, if your cup isn't runneth over, it will be when you get done listening to Zena. Also, thank you to Mike Baker and Coca-Cola, my bestie, honey. He came yesterday and he restocked us, but good.
Yeah,
he
good.
got Andy and Bill the Coke Zeros. He brought the body armor. He brought the water. And he brought the Coca-Cola Classic, and I am so excited. So we do this every morning for him, and he gets all his people to listen. He's
I like
y'all
the
gotta
sound
listen
of it
to this.
too.
Yeah, it just sounds great. They're like, oh, that is so awesome. So in honor of Mike Baker at Coca-Cola Montgomery Division, my bestie. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Woo! Popping that top.
Pop a top again.
Oh, yeah, that's good and cold. That's been in the fridge a minute.
That's good.
Woo!
Cold. I
Good
like
stuff. Good stuff. Also, thank you to our Chilton County Chamber of Commerce. Those ladies do an amazing job for the county because they cover the whole county. Every business that is a member, and even if you're not, they will do ribbon cuttings and things like that for you. Welcome into to the community right now. We welcome Goodwill, and we're so excited to have them. They're going to have a lot that they do for the area,
Good.
helping you find jobs and things like that. And they get funded through grants and through the thrift store. So
Very good.
They're able to help families. Also, Putter Up. Thank you, Ken and Layla. They do tournaments. They do mini golf tournaments on Tuesday. So you're going to check out their website and register for that if you're interested in doing that. But you're going to want to reserve your spot regardless because they stay so busy. I really was I don't want to say I was surprised. I knew it was going to be a huge hit.
Yeah, but I've been
I
surprised at how big it's been.
I did not expect what I saw the day that I went by. We were going to go on a Sunday, and we got there and they were closed, but because they close at 6. But we went on a Saturday. Wow, the people, because you go inside and inside was full. Inside Putter Up was full. A couple of the other businesses around were full, waiting to go get their turn. So you definitely want to reserve your spot, or you're going to wait a minute. That's for sure. That's going to happen.
I was on Caldwell Mill Road turning onto 119 Cahaba Valley Road yesterday afternoon, and there, when I was at the stop sign light waiting to turn on 119, Putter Up,
There?
a big sign right there.
Was it?
Yeah, they had a big sign there that said Putter Up pointing back down 119.
I love, Ken has a red car. It's a convertible.
Really?
And it has Putter Up on the side of it, and he parks it right out front so people know. Because you driving by on 31, you say, Putter Up right there. But they've got the signs and everything.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I think Ken's car being right out front is
a good little sign.
Some good signage right there. Also, thank you to Larry Puckett Chevrolet. We love Kurt and our friends at Larry Puckett. They have the largest pre-owned inventory in the area. So if you are in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, please go by and see them first before you go anywhere else.
There you go.
Larry Puckett Chevrolet. Also, thank you to Jake and the team at Save More. They keep us fully stocked with freshest produce in, I call it the meat market in town. Wow.
I love it.
Their meat is so good.
They had they've cut me some steaks before.
Andy,
so good.
When they had the truckload sale, Andy went and got the big long thing of the ribeyes and
just cut them himself.
Had them cut them in steaks, and he puts them in the freeze dry pack or whatever you call those, the
vacuum
pack, and pulls them out as he goes. I was like, well, you should have just invited us all over there to eat, and you wouldn't even have had to vacuum pack those.
Right, they'd go fresh.
They would
start
been
cooking
in
them.
my belly.
Cut them and cook them.
Also, thank you to Bruce at Old Orchard Office Furniture.
Bruce.
Man, we love him, and we have furniture here that you can come in and sit. We have our that's loud. We have our rocking chairs and our tables on the front porch. We have some high bar stool type chairs in the lobby.
In the lobby.
And then in our little second lobby, we have the rocking chairs.
And you can come to my house and sit in those swivel rockers that are on my front porch, or you can go to the back behind my house in my little courtyard, and you can sit in regular rocking chairs.
I'm trying to get this fixed here. It's making
Did
a
it
lot
break?
of noise.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I'm so deaf
loud.
I don't even hear it.
Screaming, and I'm trying to make it not do that. So
There you go.
Because I know y'all are out there going, ah. So thank you to Bruce at Old Orchard Amish Farm. He also does sunflowers too. I don't know if y'all knew that. I didn't know that until we
He
went
does
out there.
sunflowers?
Yeah. So when you're in the front of his place and he's got all the stuff out there,
Yeah.
to the right, he's got a field of sunflowars.
I didn't know that. I guess when I was out there, they weren't up. I didn't see
They
them.
were not. They were.
Yeah.
He was. He was. I guess not harvesting. Harvesting is when you gather the stuff. He was taking care of them. He was.
I guess, do you harvest sunflower seeds from them?
Maybe.
Because they got the big, pretty bloom, and then I think those make the seeds. I love sunflower seeds. I like to eat them.
Awesome. So we got to say good morning to some folks. Good morning to Ricky.
Hey, Ricky.
Good morning to Bert Tippett. Oh, Bert, we haven't heard from you in a while. Thank you for watching and listening. Good morning, Josh. And Mike Baker, he says, that was awesome, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
No, we thank you.
Yeah, we do.
He came yesterday with that truck, and it took like 4 trips to get all the drinks in here.
Oh, that's so nice of him.
Yeah, I know. They really take care
Mike
of us,
Baker's
and we
a good
appreciate
guy.
it. Yeah. And so, and Ricky said something too. We're going to go back to, things in our nation that have happened. But, Ricky says, don't forget about when Ronald Reagan was shot too. That was that was
it
a
didn't kill him,
terrible-
so I guess
no.
it's not like it was that big. And he handled it so well,
Yeah, he did.
He was tough. But I do remember that. Of course, I remember when Squeaky Fromm tried to shoot President, was it Bush? And
Didn't he say something about you missed me or something like? Somebody
Yeah.
made a joke like that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you can't joke like that. That is we're not doing that.
I do remember. I will tell. Now, Grape will relate to this. I was on the air in 1970, no, maybe 80. And I was the first guy, I think, in Birmingham to see that John Lennon was shot and killed.
Really?
Yeah, because I was coming. I was on the air at Kicks or ERC, Kicks 106 or ERC. I forgot which one I was on that night. And I had to go to the bathroom. So I ran the bathroom while a song was on. And
First
when I
things
was
first.
coming out of the bathroom, I heard something I'd never heard in all of my years in radio up until that point, was the AP machine, the Associated Press machine. If a new news break came in, it would go ding ding. If it was pretty important, it'd go ding ding ding. And then I think you could have up to 5 dings to tell you how important it was. This one was continuous dinging. I thought it was World War III. I thought maybe we were going to be under nuclear war. I heard that thing just dinging, and I ran to it, and it said, reports from New York City. Apparently, John Lennon has been shot and is taken to the hospital. We don't know his condition, So I tore it off, made a copy, and took it into the other radio station. I started talking about it. And then I'd already talked about it twice when they broke in on TV and told everybody that John Lennon had been shot. So in Birmingham, I think I was the first one to announce it, but that was a big deal to me because I was such a Beatles fan, and of course it killed him. So John Chapman, was that his name?
I don't even know.
John David Chapman shot him. Anyway, those are, mileposts. We have a new milepost that occurred yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk.
Charlie
31
Kirk,
years old.
I knew of him. I liked him.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I didn't always agree with everything he talked about, but I did a lot because I'm conservative. He's very conservative.
Mm-hmm.
Young, dynamic man who they credit, President Trump will tell you, he credits him with probably helping him win the election as much as anybody because Charlie Kirk was a man who's young, 31 years old when he was killed yesterday. But he started back in 2016 with this movement that would get young people involved in politics. And, the Republican Party was getting, young people tend to lean a little left anyway. They're emotional, they're young. I was that way. I was all fired up about stuff, but I was conservative, but I was very passionate. And he was finding that young people just couldn't find their way because there's so much stuff on social media. He started going to college campuses and he would have debates. And he did a beautiful thing. He would sit on the stage and he'd have students line up and they could come up one at a time and debate him and just ask him questions. Now, it wasn't like a debate like it was mean. They could ask mean questions, but he was one of those guys. He was charismatic, brilliant, and he could answer questions. And he actually started showing young people that they could be conservative
and think for themselves.
and speak for themselves and stand up for themselves.
And not necessarily, because I think what happens, it happens in school. My kids did it. They get with a group of people who have an idea.
Sure, peer
about
pressure.
something.
And
and so then my kids started following the flock.
the wrong
so to speak.
crowd sometimes.
And they would believe, they say that this is happening, and they say that, and I said, first of all, who's they?
Right.
Who
and
was
did
your
you follow
they?
up and make sure what they're saying
Right.
is correct?
Where did they get this information? Did it something they researched? Did they look into it? How far did they go with their research? And how much of it is hearsay? And so when my daughter was coming of age to vote, I told her, I said, Pumpkin, I said, it's very important that you think for yourself. You don't follow with peer pressure. If you want to be in this camp, be in this camp, but know why you're in this camp.
Right.
Know why you're there.
Yeah.
Understand why you're there. Research people. Look at the things that they say and what they do.
Search your own heart.
your own
See
heart,
how you
Exactly.
feel, not how other people tell you should feel.
And I said, and then go vote with confidence. And stand behind it. Be able to stand behind. So that if somebody were to come to you and say, why did you do that? You can say, this is why.
This and this.
Is what,
yeah.
and this is what I believe based off of what I've learned. Not about what somebody told me.
Right.
They heard somebody else said it down the line and down,
And Charlie Kirk pushed exactly
a lot of that. And he would say, you feel this way, but why do you feel this way?
Right.
Why? Where did that belief come from? What prove to me what you're saying? And that's where people don't want you to call them out. They want you to just listen to what they say and go blind with it. Mm-hmm. And he would say, I need to, you feel this way, you're talking this way, you're asking these questions, but why? Why do you feel this way? I'm going to tell you why maybe that narrative is a little slanted or not correct, because they would come up there and debate with misinformation.
Right.
And that's what he was teaching them not to do. If you're going to do a debate, you
would
better come informed.
Yeah, come with fact, not
Prepared.
hearsay. Well, what happened, of course, yesterday, in case I don't know how you wouldn't know if you've been watching any of the news, he was speaking at a college campus in Utah. And it was like he does everywhere. And there's, when you have something like him, he's not running for office. So it's not like he's got Secret Service or he had his own security team, because a lot of people didn't like him, especially extreme liberals. So he did have a security team, but that kind of, you figure what you're going to do is have some guys on either side of you, and they had local police there, pretty much the same kind of security that you would have at a concert.
Yeah.
Like, because performers have stalkers and weirdos and people that want to hurt them or get to them. So that's the kind of security he had. He did not have.
It's minimal.
It was minimal. Yeah. And he had his own team. But so, you got a guy that, and by the way, the shooter shot him from about 250 yards away from a high point. They're not sure. They think he was on this one building. Forgot the name of it, but he was shot from somewhere up high. The shooter got him from about 250 yards, shot him in the neck. He was mortally wounded. He lived till he got, I think, to the hospital, and then he died while they were trying to treat him. It was terrific, horrific shot. And this guy's at large. They announced that they had a suspect right after the shooting, but they let him go because it turns out if they let him go, they're pretty sure it's not him. So the suspect is still at large. And now you come up with, was this guy a sniper? Was he an assassin? Was he just a good hunter? Was he just a crazy guy that could shoot a little bit? But obviously there was some skill involved, but it's not the kind of skill that you would think. It wouldn't be a professional hitman or a sniper. It might have just been a guy that was good with a rifle and had a good scope. He was probably shooting for a headshot and got him in the neck, which proves he may have been off a little. So he shot from a high thing. He's at large, and it's just horrific. He had a wife, a pretty little young wife, and 2 babies. I think his oldest daughter was 3. Mm-hmm. So he had 2 kids under the age of 3. And this man never spoke about violence. He never spoke about overthrowing or hurting anybody. And to have a man not be able to just do this thing, whether you agree with him or not, kill him?
Yeah.
Like in that horrific way in front of everybody?
Yeah, assassinate him. Basically,
Oh,
what
my
happened.
God. That
because
shook
you don't
me up
like
yesterday.
What somebody says, you shoot them. I don't understand that mentality. And so this is where I'm at today, is that we as a nation have come to the point to where if somebody has a different opinion from you, you go on the attack.
You kill 'em. Yeah, you attack them.
You attack
You
them.
can't just say, I don't agree with him. You got to go after him.
I don't, and I think there are 2 things that happened yesterday. One, the video of him getting shot went viral like that because there were so many people that were filming
Sure.
him being there as a
Thousands of people were filming.
and so you have that. You have different people's viewpoints of how it happened, and so that what do? They all upload it.
Yeah,
and,
but you know what? It's also a good thing.
Yes,
because that will give the law enforcement people at least all kinds of perspective, which might help them figure out where the shot was from. And, you never know. If you're just filming the crowd, you won't pay attention to maybe seeing some dude up on a roof or something that you wouldn't have. You were just looking at the crowd. So they're telling everybody that filmed yesterday, send it in.
Yeah.
Send it in to the police.
And I don't know if this was AI generated or not. I can't tell anymore. Some
You
of this
can't.
AI stuff I can't tell.
Yeah, you can't.
But there was a view. It was like somebody was viewing and they were just kind of doing a pan around from where the tent was, where he was doing everything, and then around. And you can see up on a building somebody laying flat.
Really?
Yes, you can
See, I haven't seen
laying
that.
flat. It looks like with a gun pointed in the direction.
Well,
so I don't know but I don't know if that was maybe security for him, because it could have been. Who knows?
I doubt it. Because I don't
But-
think he would have been I don't think their security was that.
The problem
tight.
is it was the way they were panning was to the left. He got shot from his right. I mean, his left.
yeah.
Our right.
Yeah.
So that would have not come from that direction. But so you have that, the fact that got online so quick, and it was horrible to watch that.
It was.
And then
horrific.
you have the other side of it, which is people that are actually glad. And
Are there
that's-
people that have said that have expressed that they were happy
Yeah.
he was killed?
Yep, you should have seen some of the comments.
I haven't
saw.
seen that.
So I watched TMZ. I was watching TMZ as they were trying to get information. They were trying to get it out. The comments that were coming underneath where TMZ was laughing, ha ha.
Really?
He got what he deserved.
But he didn't espouse anything that was.
They called him a
violent.
hateful bigot. That he was a hate monger, spewing hateful words, just condoning hate.
I didn't see that.
All this, that, and the other. Well, it's all over. It's so many people. I mean, the laughing emojis is what got me.
Yeah.
And then the words were really just, they sent me over the edge yesterday. Because hubby and I would sit and watch, our YouTube TV, and we would go on the different debates that he would have, because he was interesting.
He
to
was,
me.
yeah.
And I, like you, sometimes I would be like, well, I don't know that.
I go for that, right? Yeah.
100% on that. I'm not saying he's wrong, but I'm not saying I don't really know where I am on that topic or that viewpoint.
Well,
But I still like the guy, and I still watched him, and I still thought he was doing good for young people to think for themselves. Even
no
if they
matter what you
disagreed-
believe.
Even if they disagreed with him,
Right.
he was forcing them to think. And and I don't see anything wrong with that at all. What I do see something wrong with is you blaming the guy for his own death. Well, if he hadn't spewed so much hate, it wouldn't have happened. He kind of asked for it, which is what happened. Matt Dowd, he basically got on MSNBC last night and said, "Well, what do you expect when you spew hate and da 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 da? You kind you kind of expect this to happen. Well, MSNBC fired him right then and
Yep.
there.
They-
I don't know. They went to like a break or something,
And he
then
wasn't there when they
was
came
gone.
back. He
Like,
was gone.
You're out of here, dude.
Yeah.
And I have seen so much of that. I say so much.
You've seen a lot more
let's
of
say
it.
I have 5,000 people on my Facebook, and I've seen 2,000 comments. Maybe 50 of them were hate-filled, but they were hate-filled. And I cannot imagine how people can live with themselves thinking the stuff they think.
Well,
And saying
I
the stuff
think
they
I
say.
saw a thing last night from on one of the news things, and it made so much sense to me. And I've kind of always felt this. I just never heard it articulated. But the problem, a lot of this stuff seems to be worse and worse because of social media. And the social media thing you can, especially on X and some of these things, you can create a name that has nothing to do with you, so that you're basically speaking anonymously. So you don't have to stand up for what you're saying. You can go in anonymously and just spew all kinds of horrible things and lies and stuff. And you can attack people for anything you want. And what's happened is now there is no discourse. There is no saying, well, I disagree with him, but, he has the right to say it. We're going to talk to Jared Hudson. He was a Navy SEAL.
Mm-hmm.
You know what he did? He's fought for people's rights to say anything they need to say in this country, whether you like it or agree with it or not.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, the sad part is we talk about these people spewing hate. They have a right to do it. Is it the best thing to do or a decent thing to do? No, it's not. But they have the right to it. That's the dichotomy of being in a free speech America. You have to stand up for the right for somebody to say something you completely disagree with or you hate. You don't, these people spewing hate, they got the right to do it. Is it the right thing to do? No. But they have a right to do it, and we have to let them do it. So what's happened is on social media now, we demonize people we disagree with. We turn them into non-human evil entities so that you lose the perspective of them being a decent human being. That man yesterday, or I assume it's a man, shot a 31-year-old young man with a wife and 2 little babies because he disagreed with what he was saying. That is pure, complete evil. And he did that because they've demonized this poor young man. And I'd say this if I totally disagreed with what Kurt was saying, Charlie Kirk. But they demonize him so bad that then he doesn't become a human being, he becomes a target.
Yeah.
And people are just attacking and killing and hurting people because at that point they're no longer a human being. They're to them, something's got to be taken out because they disagree with what you say.
And they justify it too. Somebody yesterday, Leslie Smithson, had a Facebook page, and people took screenshots of this because she was dumb enough to put this on there. It says, "Whoever shot Charlie Kirk, thank you," with clapping emojis. And then under that, she puts bleeding from the neck with a blood drop, LOL.
Wow. That person needs to have a little counseling.
So that's the kind of stuff that was happening yesterday. I have never in my life seen such. I just don't get it. I'm never going to get it. I'm never going to get that.
There's some people I really dislike in this world as far as their attitudes and their opinions. I'll tell you one person that I have a hard time accepting, a personality, Whoopi Goldberg. I have a hard time not just disliking her to a point, and it has nothing to do with her being black. I don't want it to be a racial thing. It's her attitude and her opinions. I think she's just mean, and she's,
well, she twists everything. And
I don't like her. And, I have the right not to like her, but I don't want her dead.
No.
And if somebody shot and killed her, I'd be outraged that they killed her because they disagreed with the way she is or what she thinks and feels.
Exactly.
I don't like her, but I don't want it's not right to kill her.
Exactly.
And so I would, what happens to humanity? it scares me because I was talking to somebody yesterday. I was in Tennessee most of the day yesterday, and we were talking about this was before we found out Charlie Kirk got killed. So we were just talking about day-to-day life, and the sad thing is, we're losing humanity. I don't know why. It just feels like we're losing humanity.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
It's scary.
It is very scary. It's 7:36. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will continue this discussion. And then we're also preparing for Jared to get here. We're so excited. I'm so thrilled. I cannot wait.
Jared Hudson running
yes.
for Senate.
Yes. So we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue our talk on 9/11 and the situation yesterday that happened to Charlie Kirk. So y'all stay with us. You're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. Teresa and Dollar Bill broadcasting live from the Clinton Tractor Studio. We'll be right back. Workout Anytime in Clanton is now open. Your fitness, your schedule. We have top-of-the-line treadmills and weights, but we are more than just a gym. We bring luxury and results to your fitness routine. Relax in our sauna. Recharge with red light therapy. Refresh in our hydro massage beds. Get that glow with unlimited tanning and push your limits with dynamic classes. Need guidance? Our personal trainers are here to help you set your goals, stay motivated, and get real results. This is your space, your time, your transformation, open 24/7. Workout Anytime, now open in Clanton.
Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you, whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
Chilton Mobile Home Parts and Supply is your go-to destination for top quality mobile home parts and supplies in Clanton, Alabama. Conveniently located at 14023 County Road 29, just 3 miles east of Thorsby. We offer a diverse inventory, including underpinning, doors, windows, faucets, tubs, setup supplies, and more. Our commitment to quality ensures you'll find the best solutions for your mobile home needs. Upgrade your space with stylish doors and windows. Enhance functionality with top-notch faucets and tubs. All conveniently available in one place. Visit us today or call 205-646-1949. Transform your mobile home with Chilton, where quality meets convenience.
Back. The time is 7:40. You're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. Teresa and Dollar Bill here with you this morning, broadcasting live from the Clinton Tractor Studios. Baden, breaks are going to be all over the place today. Baden is getting stuff set up for when Jared comes, and the fact that today is just such a, I don't know.
It's a sad day.
It's a sad day.
You know,
it's a sad day
it
for
is
so
the
many
24th
reasons.
anniversary of 9/11.
Yeah.
So that memory is sad. And then Charlie Kirk being killed yesterday, assassinated is the right word for that one. And you just showed me some attempts. I mean, some of the responses from people who didn't like Charlie Kirk, and boy, it's evil. I mean, that's my wife. Mary's calling me. So I mean, it's you hear this evil stuff. It's unbelievable. You think she's calling to tell me the Coke cans?
Probably. There we go. I got it. It's good, Mary.
But it's it's just sad that people could take their hate to the point that they would actually say the things they're saying about this man being murdered, being assassinated, killed, murdered.
Yeah.
Just sad that they would be that bitter in their hearts. And nobody should have that kind of hate or bitterness in their hearts. All that does is poison you.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know where this is coming from. And it just seems like it's just so natural for people to feel that way. And I don't have it in me to feel those types of things. I mean, I don't like some people. I don't believe
Nobody likes everybody.
The same as a lot of folks, but I would never wish harm on them.
Well, there's a difference between liking somebody and respecting life and being a decent human being.
Mm-hmm.
You may disagree. You may think they're a horrible person for feeling or saying the things they say or feeling the way they do. But if they're just speaking, words can be powerful and words can be meaningless. And so if you disagree with somebody and you don't like what they're saying, let the words become meaningless to you. Yeah. And the right way to go against, if you disagree politically or socially with somebody, that whether or not you agree with how they feel things should be in society or how things should be in politics, the way you combat that is you speak your side. You support people that are on your side to speak out against that. You don't kill people.
Exactly.
And you don't put this crap on social media that is just so mean.
It is.
And I'd say this, if somebody, like I said earlier, one person I really don't like is Whoopi Goldberg. If somebody did something bad to her, you would not see me putting the laughing emoji and she deserved it or thank God or any of that stuff, because that's not let's get back to being human again and care about how we present to the world.
Exactly. Just so much hate filled. And the thing that I think that what surprised me the most is some of the folks that said some of the things that I'm friends with.
Yeah, I know.
And
it kind of disappoints you,
doesn't it?
Colleagues
with, and I'm just like, wow, that was a letdown.
It can be very disappointing.
And you know what I did though?
What?
I kept scrolling.
Yeah.
I didn't engage.
No engage. That's right.
I didn't get on their Facebook and tell them how horrible, rotten, awful I thought they were. I thought to myself, I'm going to remember that. And then I kept going.
Take the high road.
And I just zoomed on past it.
You talk about having hate in your heart, hating something. I've worked for the last 20 years of my life. I used to be very emotional. I hated this, I hated that, and I realized it was poisoning me. Mm-hmm. I'm down to only have one hate in my heart right now.
Okay, what is that?
Brussels sprouts.
Great. You get them done the right way and they are phenomenal.
I hate them.
You hate them in a box or with a fox or
under the table or on top of them. Yeah. Dr. Seuss fails me right now, but I hate Brussels sprouts. And don't give me that you can fix them and they'll be delicious. I've had good friends say, "Oh, listen, I'll fix them for you. You're going to love them." I say, "Okay."
And you're like,
and listen, I'm not one of those who just won't. I say, "Okay, well, great. I'd love to love them because my wife loves them."
I love to love them.
My wife loves them. So, I mean, when we have them, I'm disgusted. I'd like to love them.
Yeah.
It'd make life a lot better. And I've tried people put onion in it and all this spice, or they fry it, or they cut it this way, or they boil it. I don't know how. I've had it 1,000 ways.
And you still don't like
Hate
them.
it.
My favorite way to eat them is roasted with a little bit of
olive oil,
whatever the vinaigrette is, with the bacon.
Yep, Mary loves that.
Oh my gosh, they are so good. Matter of fact, I think if I'm not mistaken, taco mac. You can get like
Really?
a side of the Brussels sprouts like that
Really?
done. I want to say when Auburn and I and Jeff and Megan went one afternoon,
Your
we
family?
got those. We got the family, and they both got them. And then I kept reaching my fork over and eating them, and they were like, "Here, just have them." And I was like, "Okay."
All right, let me
I'll
ask
eat
you
'em.
about the collateral damage.
Yeah. Well, what happens after
Does it
that?
not make
though?
you gassy?
It does. It does. But here's the thing.
That's the joy of my living with my wife. When she enjoys a big meal with Brussels sprouts, I want to go to a hotel that night. I don't want to be in the same house.
Well, what I do is I hold that toot in as long as I can until I can go to the restroom, and then I let it all
let
out,
it
and then
go.
I come back, and nobody's the wiser. So
Do they wonder why you suddenly go out into
I'm
the
not-
yard at
yeah.
night sometimes or something? Out on the deck?
Or I tell hubby, I gotta run downstairs for something.
Yeah,
real
I got to
quick."
go check the dryer. I got some stuff in the washer.
I'll let it go.
Yeah. I don't like Brussels
I'm not
sprouts.
gonna lie, I have done that.
Oh, yeah, of
because
course you have.
Look, we've been together over 2 years now, and I still have not.
Well, my wife and I,
And
we've been married 30 years, and we've had a few accidents.
yeah.
The ones that catch you by surprise.
Oh yeah, those are.
But,
Yeah.
but if we have control, we have enough respect for the other one to get out of the room or out of the house or something.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that now I've got friends they'll just fire off at each other like crazy, but we're not comfortable with that. So,
Blair.
I wasn't going to
Blair
say.
Little. I mean, she
I
comes
wasn't
in
gonna say
between
anything.
that and the burps. Oh my god.
Oh my God, that girl, and she's so petite and,
And
cute
little
and
and
sweet
cute,
and
and I was
pretty,
like,
and then she'll burp, and it's like, was that an earthquake?
What
did
was
the
that?
earth just move under my feet?
And then she'll say that was Baden, and I'm like, I know,
But you
I
were
know
looking.
the burp.
I've looked at Baden, and he's sitting there like this, and all of a sudden you hear the end of the world.
Here's the thing: is that
She's
even
got a
her
talent.
burp sounds like her, so I knew it was her. You know, I know it's her burp. I get it.
I think
you're
her
not gonna-
burps have a driver's license of their own. I think they have and they're citizens. I think they're like a living entity. I've never seen.
She's something else. I worked with a girl when I worked at a restaurant in Birmingham. Gosh, 30-something years ago, and she was like that. She just walk around burping and tooting on, and she didn't care, and she'd be like, "Woo, that smelled like the whatever."
That's so attractive.
the rear end of a mule, and I'm like, yeah, it did. As a matter of fact,
Matter of
and
I think I'm going to throw up.
Her name was Charity, and she grew up on a farm. She was a rodeo girl.
Oh yeah,
and
so they're
she
like,
just did not have
Nah.
any couth at all, and it was hilarious then. But now, y'all look back on it and go, oh my gosh, what in the world? Why did we think that was funny? Because we were young and stupid.
oh
I
yeah.
guess.
Well,
But
listen,
my
I'm a
gosh.
dude, so farts are funny to dudes. We love.
why though? They're not funny.
Yeah, they are.
They're not.
Yeah, they are.
They're not funny.
They are.
Kids love it. Kids love to toot on you and be like, tooted. I'm like, what? My son would do it all the time. He thought that was the greatest thing ever.
It's to toot.
To toot and burp. And he and the kids, he and his brothers, he and his sisters would have burping contests
Now,
and things like that.
I did. I used to have a pretty good burp, but again, now I'm old. Now it's natural. I don't even have to work at it.
Mary says she's glad the mohawk's gone. Mary, I have to
What'd she say?
politely disagree with you. I love the
What'd she
mohawk.
say?
She said she's glad the mohawk's gone.
I did
disagree.
shave the mohawk because Mary.
I think Jared would have thought it was cool too.
Who?
Jared, when he gets
I don't know.
He'd have probably thought you were a cool dude.
Well, hope he still thinks I'm a cool dude.
He will.
I'm not a cool dude.
You are a
I'm
very
an
cool
old dude.
you are. Oh, you know Charity. Ricky says you know Charity Hardiman.
Oh, that's the charity you're talking about?
Yeah, when I said rodeo and grew up on a
I don't know
farm.
why I didn't think about that. I guess I hadn't seen her in 20 years.
Well, she's married now, and she still does horses and stuff. That's all she's ever really
I
done.
hadn't seen her in so long. Wow,
That's
I
the
didn't know that
charity
was
I'm
the
talking
charity you were
about.
talking about.
Yes, Lord.
I like her. She's great.
She is a hoot.
She is.
Country. I thought I don't know. There's a difference between
She's one of those no-nonsense
farm
girls.
country
And
then
country
just
country.
country. And she is farm country all day long. She could pick up a bale of hay with her pinky
know.
probably. And still, but she's figure like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, she's
Beautiful
cute.
girl.
Yeah, she really is. She's hot as a firecracker. Was when I
Well, I've seen
last time
pictures
I
of her.
saw
She
her.
still is. Yeah, she hadn't changed a bit. She's one of those people that looks exactly the same as she always did.
Oh, I hate those people.
I know.
That's the other Brussels sprouts and people that look so young when they're older. There you go. I got two hates. I got to get work on them, but I'm not going to actually be honest with you. I've worked really hard. I had some people that did me wrong earlier in my life, and I carried them in my heart. I had hate for them in my heart, and I had to work so hard to purge that hate and forgive them and let it go. But because sometimes you kind of keep it in there. You kind of enjoy hating them.
Yeah.
It's some kind of weird thing that
you're right.
Yeah, you kind of
100%.
enjoy having somebody to hate, and that's a poison. So I got rid of all that except for Brussels sprouts. So I
feel
think if
that
I
way
can go to
towards
my
liver.
grave, if I can live the rest of my life only hating Brussels sprouts, I think I'll be doing okay.
Yeah.
I don't like Hitler. I didn't Caligula, some of these people that were evil in history. Osama bin Laden, you know, but I even those I've let them go to a different level of hate. It's like, or I don't even hate them. I just think they were evil people, and I feel kind of sorry for them.
Yeah.
But I hate Brussels
But
sprouts.
I have one person in my life that
You can't purge it.
I struggle. I've purged some of it, and so I'm a better person for
softened
it.
it a
I've
little bit?
softened it a little bit, but I'm gonna.
You got to work at it.
I do. I have to work at it. I had to, and I really, truly, I had to. I had to tell God, please help me with this because I'm struggling. This hate is about to eat me alive.
I had to go deep with mine to
and
a
it was
couple of mine.
justified. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, I know.
My hate was justified.
Yeah.
Because of
what happened?
Acts to children. I
Right.
cannot.
Right.
So this was an act towards children.
Right. I know what you're
mine.
talking about.
And I could not. I
See,
still
that's the thing.
struggle with that because I see that my kids, their whole life was affected
Right.
because of it, and so I still struggle with it to a point. But it's gotten better because I've started kind of letting it go because it did have a control over
Right.
me that it was affecting.
It's poison.
It was poisoning me to the point where I was sick all the time. I was feeling
the
bad.
hatred doesn't do any damage to the person you hate.
It doesn't.
They could care less most of the time.
They
or
don't even really know.
oblivious to it.
I guess. I mean,
But it does.
I'm sure they know. But
It is self-destructive. And it is very difficult to get rid of some of those hates, especially when it's justified, because the justification is what makes it okay to hate them, right?
Right.
It's a difficult struggle when you have to go deep and go in there and start softening it and maybe figuring out a way to go ahead and purge it and forgive. It's like, I don't understand how these mothers can have their child murdered and they forgive the murderer. I don't know. They're stronger, better, more Christian or whatever people than I am. I don't think I could get rid of that. And
well, I think there's what I had to tell myself. There's a difference between forgiving them for your own self and I'm not
and
saying
forgiving them for what they did.
Yeah, I'm not
Yes.
saying that what they did is okay.
Right.
I'm not saying that I don't think they should have punishment. I'm not saying
No.
that I don't think the punishment should be well beyond what they got. But I had to forgive it so that I could move
Yep.
on because you're right. The only person it was hurting was me.
You.
It was hurting me.
Yep.
And now that I've let some of that go, as far as, I mean,
Yeah.
it's still there, but it's tamped down a
Good.
lot more because
And the more you do tamp it down, the better. And time does help some of that sometimes.
It does.
The problem with hatred is it's like a nuclear bomb. It self-perpetuates.
Mm-hmm.
So if you keep it at a deep level of hatred in your heart, it it feeds itself so that it just doesn't go away. It gets stronger. So once you start working on it, I think that does soften that.
Yeah.
And then as time goes on, instead of it getting bigger and worse, it gets softer and softer. And it's hard. I agree with, I mean, I feel for you because I know what you're talking about. And I would have a hard time forgiving someone for that. But to your
Well, I'll
credit,
be
if you're
honest.
working on it and you're getting it, then you're already way ahead of yourself because the fact some people don't even consider trying to work on it or get rid of it. They just sit there and let it eat them alive and kill it and, you know,
I'm
destroy
not going to
them.
lie. At the time of that I found out my actions then, if somebody hadn't have prevented me from doing my immediate reaction,
Would you have killed somebody? You'd be in prison?
I'd have been out by now.
Yeah.
Though. I think I would have already served my time and been out by now. I do believe that, but I knew that you can't just. I wanted to run him over with my car is what I wanted to do, and I would have at the moment.
You'd have done it.
I'd have done it in that heartbeat, but then I would have regretted it.
Sure, because then you'd be in prison, and your kids wouldn't have you around, and your family wouldn't have you around, and you'd be in prison for a bad act that was justified, just like we're talking about. But
Yeah.
you would have served no good purpose, and it wouldn't have fixed the situation. That's the
No.
thing; doesn't fix
No,
anything.
he would have never had his. He wouldn't have served his time.
Right.
It would have just been over.
He'd
and
been
he
over.
wouldn't
He'd
have
been gone.
He would have
He'd
got
been-
no punishment from
Right.
it because he'd be
He'd
gone
been
and
gone.
wouldn't even know.
Wouldn't know.
So I mean, I'm glad that I had somebody there to with a cooler head
Good.
than I had. So luckily for me, I think I had to. Unfortunately, I had to let the justice system do its thing.
Which is slow, ponderous,
is,
and it's
and not
frustrating.
near enough. I
Yeah,
mean, I
it's
feel
very
like
frustrating.
because I will tell you, a lawyer can argue down just about anything.
Well, sure, that's their job.
And I just really struggle with. Now, if I needed a defense attorney, I'd want them to argue it for me.
Right.
But I was really hacked off at this defense
Right.
attorney for
'Cause they're-
defending
you know what?
this
'Cause they were
guy
doing
because
their
what
job
he
and they were
did-
doing a good
yeah,
job.
Because what he was guilty and he admitted it. It was just he knew he was caught. He had no reason to. So I'm like, then why are you defending him? What is he? You're trying to get him less time for something he's admitted to that's heinous. Like, what in the world? I struggle with that. And it's because, it's anything to do with children, I really
Sure.
struggle with, which is one of the main reasons. Again, I'll say that when I saw Jared, I knew he was running for Senate, but then I was looking at his background.
Covenant Rescue.
And when I saw that Covenant Rescue, I was like, we got to get him in here. I mean, and we've had several guests over the last month that help with that particular thing.
Really?
They help children and women that
Oh,
have
that's
been,
right.
that
Exactly.
have been victims of abuse like that. So, I mean, it's just it's close to my heart. And so when I saw that that's what he did, I was like, I want to see if he'll come on. And I was just lucky enough to have somebody who could reach out and get him here.
Well,
So,
Jared Hudson will be here in about 30 minutes. So if you've been wanting to, hear from him, we can't wait to talk to him. He's dynamic. He's a wonderful young man. He's again a former Navy SEAL. He's been in law enforcement. He teaches. He speaks. He's a motivational speaker. He works with Covenant Rescue, which helps trafficking of women and children and people. We've got so much to talk to him about.
Right.
We'll be doing that in about 30 minutes.
Yep, we're going to take a break right now.
Before we take the break, I will tell you, I would take my car and I would run over a Brussels sprout if there's one in the road. I just want you to know that.
You'd save the world from Brussels sprouts.
I would kill a Brussels sprout
I'm sure
with
there's
my car
Brussels
in an
sprout
instant.
haters everywhere that would thank you
I may
for that.
start a new group, Brussels Sprout Haters of America.
Do you hate cabbage too?
No, I don't.
It's
But
almost the same thing.
I know.
It's a baby cabbage, basically.
I think Brussels sprouts are concentrated, gaseous, little evil miniature cabbage. I like big cabbage if it's raw. I don't really like cooked cabbage that much unless it's in an egg roll, but I love raw cabbage. But I don't like Brussels sprouts. They're not the same.
Okay.
I'd run
It's a
one
baby
over in an
cabbage.
instant in my car. and laughed when I did it.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, it's 8:01. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, I do want to talk. There is a 9-year-old prodigy out of Pennsylvania. We got to talk about this kid. We'll talk about him when we come back. You're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. Teresa and Dollar Bill broadcasting live from the Clanton Drage studio. We'll be right back.
Looking for the perfect way to unwind, compete, and have fun with friends or family? Then Putter Up Pelham is your next destination. Coming this June. Whether you're a mini golf pro or just out for a good time, Putter Up offers a one-of-a-kind indoor putting experience with custom effects lighting, sounds, and robotics at each hole. Plus, automated scoring and a virtual caddy to guide your game. And our ADA-compliant courses include special putters for individuals using wheelchairs or walkers. So everyone can join the fun from ages 4 to 100. Rain or shine, day or night, it's always game time at Putter Up. Come for the fun, stay for the challenge. Swing by Putter Up, where every stroke counts. Need reliable towing or diesel repair? MEMS Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair has you covered. We specialize in light and heavy duty towing and recovery with the latest equipment for any job, from campers and tractor trailers to winch box recoveries, and the only local-based rotator in the county. We do it all. Our diesel repair services include computer diagnostics, engine rebuilds, transmission and clutch work, and general maintenance. Trust MEMS Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair for top-notch service. Call us at 205-217-1984. Some family traditions begin with an ending. Lasting family legacies are established at Martin Funeral Home, where for over 100 years, we have served the families in our community. Bobby, Donnie, Norma, and our family at Martin Funeral Home would like to express our sincere gratitude for allowing us to serve your family. Every life story deserves the perfect setting. We are here to make that happen for you and your loved one. We offer traditional funeral home services, and we are now excited to be the home of the first crematory in Clanton, Alabama. Our goal is to serve our families no matter what their needs are. Martin Funeral Home, serving Chilton County since 1921. Please give us a call at 205-755-3550.
Universal Heights Academy is now enrolling for the following programs: aesthetics, manicurist, waxing, cosmetology, barbering, and the instructor crossover program. We are offering small class sizes for more personalized instruction. Hybrid and online classes are also available. Find us on Facebook or visit uhaway.com for more information on our discounted enrollment rates. Your rewarding career starts with Universal Heights Academy.
Workout Anytime in Clanton is now open. Your fitness, your schedule. We have top-of-the-line treadmills and weights, but we are more than just a gym. We bring luxury and results to your fitness routine. Relax in our sauna. Recharge with red light therapy. Refresh in our hydro massage beds. Get that glow with unlimited tanning and push your limits with dynamic classes. Need guidance? Our personal trainers are here to help you set your goals, stay motivated, and get real results. This is your space, your time, your transformation, open 24/7. Workout Anytime, now open in Clanton.
Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you, whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
We are back. The time is 8:06. You're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. Sorry for the delay coming back from break. We were doing a little communication. We got Jared coming in, and he got stuck in a little traffic. So he said he will be here soon. We're excited. Cannot wait for him to get here.
Speaking of stuck in traffic, yesterday I was coming back from Tennessee, and I got to Hoover fine on I-65. And right as I was going past 459, it stopped.
Yeah.
And it took me an hour and 5 minutes to get from Hoover to Valleydale Road. I don't know what was going on yesterday, but it was hideous. So I took Valleydale Road, and everyone else was too. So it took me literally, I think, 20 minutes just to get down the exit. You know, that's a long exit.
Yeah.
So I went left, and to go to Columbiana, instead of just going over to 65 and or going over to 31 and going down and coming that way, I went all the way out through Chelsea.
Yeah.
And did that.
Went through
It
that
took
way.
it took me 3 hours to get from Tennessee to Hoover, and 3 hours to get from Hoover to Columbiana.
I would have been aggravated.
I
do
was,
traffic well.
but I don't. Right now they're doing all that construction on I-65 down around Calera. They're adding lanes and bridges. I don't know if that's what was happening yesterday, because I got off before I saw what was at the end. But I guarantee you, there were people that were on I-65 between 3 and 5 o'clock yesterday that didn't go a mile between 3 and 5 o'clock, or a couple of miles.
Yeah, see, that aggravates me.
It's horrible.
Traffic
Thank
makes
God I
me
didn't have to go to the bathroom.
lose my mind.
Yeah, but I hate it when I'm sitting there. Two things when you're stuck on the interstate in traffic: you got to pee, or you're running out of gas.
Out of gas, yeah.
That's the two, or you got to throw up or something. That's the worst thing in the world, because you can't. There's no relief. You can't just get out of your car with all that traffic sitting there and go to the bathroom anywhere. Unless you just,
Exactly.
And then if you're run out of gas, I've even done that thing where I was so scared I was going to run out of gas that I'd turn the car off while I was sitting, and then restart it and go and then turn it off. And then I've also actually pulled off on the shoulder, shut it off, and just waited for an hour or whatever until the traffic was moving again, and then turned the car back. I mean, it's been horrible.
It would take you the same amount of time.
Yeah.
Than just sitting there idling.
And the last thing you want to do is be over in the middle or left lane or out in the interstate and run out of gas.
Yeah.
Because then what are you going to do?
You're messed up then.
You're that's, and people
You
are
done
going to
messed up
speaking of
then.
hating you, people are going to hate you.
I got to talk about this young boy.
Yeah, what's this prodigy?
He's from Collegeville, Pennsylvania. He's 9 years old, and they're comparing him to like a Doogie Howser, because Doogie Howser, the character, TV
The little
character,
kid that was a doctor.
he was a doctor, and he was like 13.
Yeah.
This young man is Aiden Wilkins. He is a sophomore. He's 9 years old now. He's a sophomore at Reach Cyber Charter High School. He is also taking college classes, and he's looking forward to medical school.
Wow.
He is remarkable. I can't even talk today. His remarkable academic journey began when he was 2 years old. 2 years old. And he could read outdoor signs before anyone had taught him how. That's amazing.
It really is. You get these kids that are prodigies and they're geniuses, and you wonder where it comes from,
Yeah. He says he could read at 2 when most kids couldn't even speak at 2. He said, turns out I was gifted.
You think?
You think? Just a little bit. He's studying neuroscience at Ursinus College. Ursinus, I don't know, college. He is taking a step towards a long-term goal of becoming a pediatric neurosurgeon.
Oh man,
I
he
cannot
may,
talk today
he
for
might
some reason.
achieve that before he gets his driver's license.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
She said he's still, his mom said he's still a typical 9-year-old boy who enjoys video games and playing soccer. He's just
Extremely
gifted. Yeah.
smart. Yeah. That's
Before-
amazing.
Before heading to medical school, Aiden will have to finish college. His top choices so far are Johns Hopkins and Princeton. He'll get into both of those and just be able to pick, I'm pretty sure. Because
It's
any
amazing.
school like that is going to want a 9-year-old prodigy there. Or a 10,
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
time, how old
By the
he
time
is
he'll
when he
get
gets
there, he
there.
might be 11 before he gets into Princeton or
Yeah.
John Hopkins.
He is the cutest little thing, too. Aw.
You know, it's amazing. I can relate to that only because of this. Mary, Mary and I, it's both our second marriages. My wife, Mary, and I,
Right.
we were married before both of us, and she had a son, and his name is Jason Hughes. Jason was a prodigy, a true prodigy. When he was like in the 9th grade, he was taking full college courses at the University of Montebello because he had taken everything he could take in high school, AP class and everything. By the time he was like 12 or 13, he was going to college. He ended up going to Harvard and getting a doctorate in biophysics at Harvard.
Oh, my gosh.
But by the time he was like 21, and he's a research scientist now, and he's already got a patent, and he worked on a drug that is now, I can't remember the name of it now, but you see commercials for it on TV all the time. And that was his drug that he worked on.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Lord, I actually was okay in school without even studying certain subjects. Math, no. Science, no. English and history, yes, because I was interested in them. I cannot do well in something that I have no interest in. And I struggle. My brain, when you started getting to I did fine in math until I got to algebra, and my brain quit on me, and I could not get it. It still makes no sense to me. I don't get it. I don't even know why we have to do that. Why? What's it for?
Well, when
What
I
does
was
it
in high
do?
school, I excelled in lunchroom, cars, girls, and alcohol. That was my 4. And by the time I got to my senior year, I was at Marion Military Institute against my will. But now I loved it once I got there. But matter of fact, it changed my life. But holy cow, I was terrible student. I mean, all the way through, terrible student. And it's because I don't know. I'm not the smartest, guy in the room, but I'm not the dumbest usually. I just didn't apply myself. I was just a stupid kid.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't, that's why I'm almost embarrassed talking to like Jared that's coming in. There's a guy that, is obviously top tier, motivated, strong-willed, smart. And here I'm going to interview, we're going to interview him. And it's like, duh, what color do you like, Jared? Do you like red, green? I feel like an idiot.
Exactly.
What am I doing interviewing him? He should be counseling me.
I agree, yes. So Baden wants us to talk a little bit about 9/11. He wants folks to comment, where were you? What were you doing when 9/11 happened?
Who, me?
Yeah, I mean, just anybody
Us?
that wants to
Okay.
comment.
Oh, yeah, if you got
I know
some
everybody
comments.
remembers it, but yeah, just what were you doing? Where were you? I was going down I-20 to Anniston at an appointment there, and it was like, I don't know, about 8:30 in the morning, 8:30 in the morning. I was listening to Rick and Bubba that morning. And
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm sorry too. I apologize. I was cheating on you at that point. I was listening to Rick and Bubba that morning, and I was one of those people that flopped back and forth. I would listen, and I just happened to have it on that morning because Mark Prater was on there. And he was the weather guy. They
Right.
always did like a little interview with him every morning. He kind of became part of the show. And he says, guys, a plane just hit the World Trade Center. And he's like, and they were like, what? Like, what kind of plane? And they just kind of were talking back and forth. And then all of a sudden, Bubba said, another plane had hit again. He goes, Rick, we're under attack. Our nation is under attack. And then all heck broke loose at that point.
Sure, because then they had the one that was heading toward that hit the Pentagon, and you had the one that went down in the field because the people on board tried to take it back over. It was heading, they think, to either the Capitol or the White House.
Yeah.
It was a horrible day.
It was. And then where I had to go was inside a bank. I had to go to it's a bank, so sometimes they have a building, they'll rent out part of their floors. And where I was going, I had to go on one of the floors. Well, when I came, I was only up there for a short time, and I came back down, and they were telling everybody they had to leave because they were closing the building. It was a federal building. They were closing it.
Wow.
All federal offices were closed. They shut down the airport. No flights in or out.
Right.
Nobody was going anywhere.
Right.
And I had to leave there and go to work. And I was working at a golf course. And I was we had the TVs on down there where the grill area was, where they come in after. And I just had the TVs on, and I just stood there and was just watching this. And I was just sick. I just cried and cried and cried some more. It was awful. And these guys are out there just playing golf like nothing's happening. And they come in and like, what's going on? I said, well, World Trade Center we're a terrorist attack.
Collapsed,
collapsed. It's all these people are, dead or injured and stuff. And they were like, oh, okay. And then just go back out there and play golf. And I was like, what? No, we're not doing it. I wanted him to close the golf course down. I mean, I wanted to stop. My world stopped turning. I wanted the whole world to stop turning at that point. And then when Alan Jackson made that song or wrote that song, Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning? That's literally
the way it was for you.
It just stopped, and you were on air.
I was alone on air. Patty was off on vacation that week. And, I was a pilot and flew for many years. So I'm sitting on the air, and our news guy, Don Daly, came in and said, I got to do a news break. So I hit the news break thing, breaking news, that kind of thing. And he came on and said, it appears that a small commuter plane has flown into the World Trade Center. We don't have any details, but there's smoke coming out of it, and there's a hole in it, and we'll give you more details. I thought, oh, my God. It must be foggy as all get out in New York City, because there's really no way that a plane would strike the World Trade Center if there was any way they could see anything, because they shouldn't be that low and all that in the metro, and all that. Yeah. So I thought, boy, it must be foggy. So we turned the TV over to the first place that, I don't remember which one was first showing pictures, and it was a brilliantly clear blue sky and day, and I went, that was on purpose. There's no way it had to be on purpose. And so I'm sitting there thinking, what am I supposed to say on the air about this except that a plane struck the World Trade Center? And by the way, I don't know if, for a little bit of trivia, a plane flew into the Empire State Building during World War II, a bomber. Actually flew into the world's tallest building at the time, the Empire State Building, and the pilot was from Birmingham, Alabama. And it was foggy, and he was in a B-25, I think it was, Mitchell, and it was foggy, and of course they didn't have radar or anything back then, and he flew into it, and it killed some people, and it was damaged the building. But anyway, that's just a trivia thing. But I knew then that it was purposely done, but I figured it was somebody that was depressed and they committed suicide by flying into the building. Nobody knew how big a plane it was. They didn't know it was an airliner. And then we're watching it live. I'm on the air, but a song's playing, and I see the second plane hit live. Yeah. And that's when like you said, the world stopped turning. Everything started tumbling, because then right after that, they talked about the Pentagon. Then right after that, they talked about that one other plane that was still out there. They didn't know, but it was heading toward Washington. And then it went down in the field out there in Pennsylvania. And then the first building collapsed. And then the second building collapsed, and it was like, the world was coming to an end, it felt like. And I know I stayed on the air till about 3 that afternoon, but I couldn't, all you would do, I did is I got out of the radio station, drove straight, like you, I went straight home and turned on the TV. And I watched that TV nonstop until I finally went to bed like at 10 o'clock at night, and had to get up at 3 the next morning, go in and do another day. And then all we didn't, I don't think we even played any music. We were a music station, country music station. We didn't play one song the next day. All we did was put people on the air talking and getting feeds from what was happening and what was going on. It was unbelievable. It was like we were really under attack in that war.
Yeah.
And that stayed with us for months.
Well, and I was scared to death. I was like, I never thought, because I thought we had enough in place to keep anybody from ever coming on our soil.
We
and
thought
doing
that
some of
too.
that. And I never worried about it. I just went, I'm in America, I'm, United States of America. I'm over here just living my best life. And then something like that happens. It's scary. I think it scared everybody. Well, then that's when everybody got a heightened sense of security, and now you can't do anything without it being
you forget
whole
that.
rigmarole now.
Yeah, that was before the ATC. TC. What is it? The people at the airport. TCA, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was before that. You could just go to an airport and go out, and there was no security much at all then. Now, look what you got to go through to get on an airplane. And I'm glad. I don't want to be killed or blown up or crash, whatever. I'm glad they're taking steps to try to keep it safe, but it just complicated life. I remember that I've always had a handgun. Usually, I've loved shooting, and I always had rifles, shotguns, and handguns. But I never really carried one daily. I just didn't feel the need to carry one. I started carrying, I had a permit. I just rarely carried one. I started carrying a pistol with me everywhere I went after 9/11.
I don't blame you.
I know, because we kept thinking radio stations that, you didn't know how big this thing was. Were there thousands of people in this country that was the key to do what you were sent here to do, or you were hiding, special agents and stuff? And we didn't know if they were going to come bash in the door of the radio station and take over and try to broadcast stuff, or kill us all or whatever. So it was an amazing time. It wasn't a very pleasant one at all, and it was, of course, and the sad thing is, on this 24th anniversary of 9/11, it's a sad fact that now hundreds of firemen and policemen were killed, right?
That's what I was going to say, is that we lost a lot of folks.
We've lost a lot more. I think I saw it now. You'll have to check me on this. This is coming out of my head. But I think we've lost just as many firemen since then to cancers and stuff, because the ones that worked in the after the collapse of the towers. And you remember all those firemen were working 24/7 trying to find survivors, and then they realized there weren't going to be many survivors, and then they were bringing up body parts and stuff. That scene was so toxic from all those chemicals and stuff because of the fire, the fuel from the airplanes, the plastics. Now we've lost, I think, just about as many firemen to cancers and other problems from trying to rescue their brothers. So really, 9/11 has killed double what they killed on 9/11.
Wow.
And people don't hear much about that, but it's
I had just
terrible.
read something like that not too long ago about how now they're seeing the people that survived that are now
dying
having
of
all kinds
horrible,
of different,
and they're weird cancers, and
Yeah.
they're strange things, and multiple stuff. That's the only thing it could be. And it's so sad. And, I work with the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation every year to do the national induction into that. And now they're inducting a lot more dead firefighters who died from the results of that.
right.
And New York State has had so many firemen dying in the last 10 years. It's been amazing. So 25th anniversary next year is going to probably be pretty big. And
Oh yeah, definitely will.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's so sad, though, because of all the lives lost. Matter of fact, I'll bring this up. I lost a nephew Monday to a fire in Atlanta. He was a firefighter. There's a huge warehouse fire, and he was in there working the warehouse fire. He's 54 years old. He was a 30-year veteran of the fire service. Great guy. His name was Preston Fant. And suddenly they heard Preston yelling, "Mayday, Mayday, Mayday," inside the burning warehouse. And one 21-year-old fireman was injured so bad, they got him to the hospital, but he died at the hospital. And my nephew, Preston, was killed right there in the fire. And it turns out it may have been a faulty breather, equipment failure. And he suffocated basically in the fire trying to help this other firefighter. So he's, it's going to be a weird deal because now all these 15 years that I've been going up and doing in Emmitsburg, Maryland, doing the induction of the death firemen into the, not Hall of Fame, but the memorial. Now I'll have a family member this next year.
Oh, that
He
is
was
so
in DeKalb
sad.
County, DeKalb County, right outside of Atlanta in Georgia. And so he leaves a wife. Now he was 50-something years old. His kids are mostly grown, but he's got 7 of them, 7 children. He had a big family.
Oh gosh, that is a big family.
So sad.
Wow.
Anyway, that happened Monday.
It's 8:27. We are expecting Jared to be here any moment, and we'll take a break here in just a little bit, and hopefully he'll be here. Is he? He's not here yet, is he? Okay. I think he was running a little bit late. He got stuck in some traffic.
It don't matter as long as he gets here.
He probably was coming down 65.
I think it's a
Because
truth.
that's where it seems to get everybody.
If he becomes senator, I'm going to ask him to fix 65.
I'm on the first thing. Can you please get on top of that for us? Yeah, Jared, my man.
My man. You remember when you were late? Fix that. Senator Jared.
Oh, yes. Oh, did you see in the news, I mean, I know this is a sad day, all we talk about sad stuff, but did you see where Polly Holiday passed away?
No, Kiss My Grits.
Kiss
Polly
my grits. Mayo, Kiss My Grits.
Wasn't she from Alabama?
Yeah, she was from Jasper.
Jasper, that's right.
Jasper, Alabama. Polly Holiday played Flo in Mayle's Diner. That's what she was notably for. She even had a
her own
show
spinoff,
of her own
didn't she?
spinoff called
Yeah,
Flo.
Kiss My Grits or something. Yeah.
Yes, but when the first time I ever heard her tell Mel to kiss her grits, I was young. I was a kid, and I thought
was
that was
funny.
the greatest thing. And I told everybody to kiss my grits. I told my mama to kiss my grits, my daddy to kiss my grits,
You
my
didn't get a whooping?
grandparents. No, because they knew I was just
a kid
just
playing,
a kid,
yeah.
just thought that it was
my grits.
kiss my grits, clean your room, kiss
Polly
my
Holiday.
grits.
You think about it. Jasper gave us
lot of
Gomer,
folks, yeah.
Goober, and Polly Holiday. Jim Neighbors, and what was Goober's name? George something.
Something George or George something.
George Lindsay.
Lindsay, yeah. I thought that was pretty neat that George Lindsay and Jim Neighbors were both from
And
here.
also
Got
Julia Tutwiler.
Kate Jackson's from
Is she-
Alabama.
Yeah, well, she's from Mountain Brook, isn't
Yeah,
she?
we got Courtney.
No, Courtney Cox is from
Courtney
Mountain
Cox
Brook.
from Mountain
I don't know
Brook.
where.
Kate Jackson's from somewhere. We
Yeah.
had a lot of folks that are
Amazing.
Alabama. Lionel Richie, he's from
Oh, yeah,
Alabama. He's
yeah.
from Tuskegee, isn't he?
He's from Tuskegee.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
great
so.
guy.
So, all right, Mickey Dean, great comedian. Mickey
Mickey
Dean.
Dean.
Oh man, he was a hoot. First time I met him was at Bruno's golf tournament.
Oh, yeah.
I had to work it that day, and it came a pouring down rain,
Oh, dear.
and we had to get under a tent. And there was Mickey Dean, and he entertained us while it poured down rain. I laughed so hard at him.
I did a comedy show
Oh
with
my
him
gosh, he
of
was
all places in
hilarious.
Centerville, Alabama one time. He
Really?
and I emceed it. I did a little comedy bit and then brought Mickey on, and we'd eaten dinner together before. He was a character.
He was a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Funny. Oh my gosh, he was funny. All right, it's 8:30. We're going to go ahead and take a break. We may get extended if Jared comes in.
Yeah,
while
so we can
we're
get
on
him in here and get him
So,
settled in.
Want to get him settled in. We've got some stuff out there. Is the officer here? Okay, good. Got an officer here, and
Yeah.
We're rolling out the red carpet for Jared
We are.
today. We certainly are. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, hopefully Jared will be here, and if not, we'll just come back and entertain you till he gets here.
Till he gets here.
So you're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. Teresa and Dollar Bill broadcasting live from the Clinton Church studio. We'll be right back. Workout Anytime in Clanton is now open. Your fitness, your schedule. We have top-of-the-line treadmills and weights, but we are more than just a gym. We bring luxury and results to your fitness routine. Relax in our sauna. Recharge with red light therapy. Refresh in our hydro massage beds. Get that glow with unlimited tanning and push your limits with dynamic classes. Need guidance? Our personal trainers are here to help you set your goals, stay motivated, and get real results. This is your space, your time, your transformation, open 24/7. Workout Anytime, now open in Clanton.
Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you, whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
Chilton Mobile Home Parts and Supply is your go-to destination for top quality mobile home parts and supplies in Clanton, Alabama. Conveniently located at 14023 County Road 29, just 3 miles east of Thorsby. We offer a diverse inventory, including underpinning, doors, windows, faucets, tubs, setup supplies, and more. Our commitment to quality ensures you'll find the best solutions for your mobile home needs. Upgrade your space with stylish doors and windows. Enhance functionality with top-notch faucets and tubs. All conveniently available in one place. Visit us today or call 205-646-1949. Transform your mobile home with Chilton, where quality meets convenience. Looking for the perfect way to unwind, compete, and have fun with friends or family? Then Putter Up Pelham is your next destination. Coming this June. Whether you're a mini golf pro or just out for a good time, Putter Up offers a one-of-a-kind indoor putting experience with custom effects lighting, sounds, and robotics at each hole, plus automated scoring and a virtual caddy to guide your game. And our ADA-compliant courses include special putters for individuals using wheelchairs or walkers, so everyone can join the fun from ages 4 to 100. Rain or shine, day or night, it's always game time at Putter Up. Come for the fun, stay for the challenge. Swing by Putter Up, where every stroke counts. Need reliable towing or diesel repair? MEMS Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair has you covered. We specialize in light and heavy duty towing and recovery with the latest equipment for any job, from campers and tractor trailers to winch box recoveries, and the only local-based rotator in the county. We do it all. Our diesel repair services include computer diagnostics, engine rebuilds, transmission and clutch work, and general maintenance. Trust MEMS Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair for top-notch service. Call us at 205-217-1984. Some family traditions begin with an ending. Lasting family legacies are established at Martin Funeral Home, where for over 100 years, we have served the families in our community. Bobby, Donnie, Norma, and our family at Martin Funeral Home would like to express our sincere gratitude for allowing us to serve your family. Every life story deserves the perfect setting. We are here to make that happen for you and your loved one. We offer traditional funeral home services, and we are now excited to be the home of the first crematory in Clanton, Alabama. Our goal is to serve our families no matter what their needs are. Martin Funeral Home, serving Chilton County since 1921. Please give us a call at 205-755-3550.
Universal Heights Academy is now enrolling for the following programs: aesthetics, manicurist, waxing, cosmetology, barbering, and the instructor crossover program. We are offering small class sizes for more personalized instruction. Hybrid and online classes are also available. Find us on Facebook or visit uhaway.com for more information on our discounted enrollment rates. Your rewarding career starts with Universal Heights Academy.
Workout Anytime in Clanton is now open. Your fitness, your schedule. We have top-of-the-line treadmills and weights, but we are more than just a gym. We bring luxury and results to your fitness routine. Relax in our sauna. Recharge with red light therapy. Refresh in our hydro massage beds. Get that glow with unlimited tanning and push your limits with dynamic classes. Need guidance? Our personal trainers are here to help you set your goals, stay motivated, and get real results. This is your space, your time, your transformation. Open 24/7. Workout Anytime, now open in Clanton.
Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you, whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
We are back. The time is 8:39. You're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. Therese and Dollar Bill broadcasting live from the Clanton Tractor Studio. And we have our guest with us. I'm so excited. Jared Hudson, thank you so much for coming in. Bill and I have talked about nothing else for the last month. That's always Jared has.
Thanks for having me.
Well, you have such
thank you for giving us your time.
incredible resume. And you're a young guy. My goodness, you've done it all just
I'll
about.
make sure my wife's not listening, but I'm going to make sure she hears you say I'm a young guy because she tells me all the time I'm getting old, you know.
Wait till you get my age.
When you get our age, you can talk
moving
about
around
all.
really good,
I can't even, well, I tell people at this point in my life, I'm glad to be seen and not viewed.
There you go. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
All right, well, we've got so much we want to talk to you about. Of course,
Yeah, I
the
don't
big
even know where
news
to
is you're
start.
running for the Tommy Tuberville seat that he's going to have to leave. He's because he's going to run for governor. And that's the big news, and other stuff we want to talk about. But we want to get the elephant out of the room first. What about the assassination yesterday?
Yeah,
I got to hear your perspective or thoughts on that.
Well, I mean, the first thing is, I mean, I've had a lot of buddies about the same age get killed overseas. I mean, it ain't the first young guy with a young family you've seen get killed, but it's always hard, not so much because of Charlie Kirk's death, because he knew Jesus. I mean, he went into eternity with Christ. Yeah. I think that's a powerful thing. It's his wife and his kids, children, those babies that are left behind.
2 little girls, isn't it?
Well, it's a little boy and a little girl, I believe.
Yeah, she's 3 and he's younger.
But they're young. It's
little
young
babies.
Kids, and for a guy with young girls, that always impacts you. For my buddies who died overseas and they left their kids here, it brings up a lot of those memories. I had some buddies that are on his security team, so I was texting with them the other day.
Oh, God.
And I would just say the 2 things to remember is, one, and at least right now the most likely scenario, this guy was killed because of his outspoken Christian conservative beliefs.
Yes, I believe that fully.
So that is a Christian martyr. That's a political martyr, all because of what he was saying, and I believe he was speaking the truth.
Right, me
all
too.
All because of what he was saying, he was killed. Now, that's one side of it. The other side of it is there's a good possibility he would be the highest profile, lowest security individual that a foreign actor could target to create chaos in the United States of America. And what a perfect way to continue the divisiveness that we see, because what did Abraham Lincoln say? We're not going to be destroyed from an outside force, but it's going to come from inside. So it's a catalyst there. So those are the 2 things that I think we need to look at.
The guy's still at large. All right, he shot him from a high position. They're not exactly sure yet the exact position where he was. They figure it's from a high spot, 250 yards. You're a shooter. Do you think this guy was a professional, or do you think he was just a guy that, like a hunter, somebody that was really good at shooting?
No, I mean, I would say if I'm leaning on what I think there's a higher chance that it's a foreign actor.
Really?
Yeah, because the training aspect, the shot's not that hard. No. 250-yard shot.
Most deer hunters can do that.
It would be an easy shot, and where he was hit at.
Obviously, he was going for center mass.
He was
maybe
either
if
he was going for headshot, his zero hit low, but my thought would be he was going for
center mass.
High center. And because of the angle of the shot, if it was a 60-degree angle, it's a 308 at about 2,600 feet per second, or a 223 at about 3,000 feet per second. At that angle, at 60 degrees, would hit about 5 inches high, which would have been about where it hit him.
Isn't shooting down is a lot easier than shooting up, right?
No, it's the same thing. You're going to hit. Yeah, you're going to hit high. You need to aim low if you're shooting at an angle.
Is that right?
And so the professionalism of the shot is not what.
And he got away.
That is the thing that makes me think it's the fact that, and I don't know
and he
all
did
of the
one
details.
Shot. And knew he did.
And he was gone.
Gone.
I don't know all the details, but the fact that they don't have his ingress and egress,
right.
That they can't track with where this guy went, from what I understand, that is what makes me think that. Well, somebody's that at least
been planned
it out and knew a little bit of what they were doing.
And the thing is, poor old Charlie Kirk, I mean, he was a celebrity in a sense, more so really than a political figure at this point. He was kind of a celebrity on college campuses. He had about the same security as a concert. As a singer would be,
Yeah, he had a good security detail. I know a lot of the guys on it and have worked with a lot of the guys on a security detail. He had a good security detail.
That must devastate them. Do they feel like they lost, that they failed him? Or, I mean, you
can't do anything about that. They, I don't want to go into the details of some of my buddies that were there said, but when they put him in the car, they were, to go to the hospital, they were all like, "Hey,
he's mortally wounded.
He's done.
I figured
so
out.
I think that's the biggest impact to them is.
All right, so
it impacts you.
How does this reflect? All right, here you are. You're about to run for a very high office.
Mm-hmm.
Senator's a big one. There's only 2 from the state, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does this does this change your aspect of your security personally? Because you are a Christian, you're conservative, you're outspoken.
No, I mean, no, it doesn't change my aspect. I mean, if it's my time, it's my time. My wife hates it if I say stuff like that, but I've been shot at a lot.
Well, I was going to say, you've already put yourself in some really dangerous situations.
Yeah, I've been shot at a lot. We get, just running Covenant Rescue Group, we get, death threats, right?
Do you really? I was going to ask about that.
I mean, it's not It's not anything uncommon, but if it's my time to get smoked, then so be it. That's why I always lead with, I'm a born again believer in the person of Jesus Christ,
Right.
and the reason I tell everybody that is because it's the only thing. That's the most important thing about Jared Hudson. It's the only thing about Jared Hudson that's eternal. So if I get killed, I go to heaven. Now, I pray for my wife and my girls
Right.
because
They lose you.
They lose me, and that's hard on them. But there's always provision in the hand of God if you're rooted in the person of Jesus Christ. So I really believe that with all of my heart. Now, on the other side of it, if somebody tries to smoke me and I kill them, which has happened multiple times, well, then good for me.
Yeah,
I win
that's
either
right.
way. I'm
That's
either
right.
in heaven with, united with Christ, or I kill the person who tries to kill me if they're
As
doing
someone
that.
who has seen, that kind of dangerous situations in your life, working with the SEALs and the military and law enforcement, that had to be one of the only ways to keep your head in a right place, knowing that, if I'm killed, at least I'm going to, I'm going to Jesus. I'm good.
Yeah, well, and it's not frivolous. G.K. Chesterton says, you got to desire life like water, but drink death like wine, right? So that's kind of
I never heard that.
Yeah, that's kind of the conundrum that you run into. I want to live, but I'm not so afraid of dying that I don't move forward to accomplish the mission. And that's kind of where you have to stay rooted at.
Me too.
Yeah, look up that G.K. Chesterton quote. It's a good one.
Yeah. Let's talk about you, Jared Hudson. Okay, so you grew up. You're from Etowah. Your family's from Etowah.
My family's from Etowah County, Knockaloo Falls area.
Which is
I love it up there.
beautiful.
It is, yeah.
By the way, but you reside in Gardendale now.
Yes, ma'am. So we moved to Gardendale when I was younger, and we live, up in that area.
You went to Mortimer Jordan
Went to
High
Mortimer
School?
Jordan High School.
Now, out of high school or in high school, did you kind of know, were you military minded at that point, or did you have
how did you do that?
something happen and say, I think I want to go serve my country?
I mean, I was, but actually after I was in the 10th grade when September 11th happened, and today is we're
24th anniversary.
24th anniversary is September 11th. So I was in the 10th grade on 9/11. I remember watching it on the screen. I was like, I want to be one of those guys. I want to be a firefighter. So I had a military mind, but when I left high school, I went to fire college. I got hired at a fire station, went to fire college, and went to
You
medical
go
school.
to Tuscaloosa? Fire
Well,
College?
I actually did some classes at Tuscaloosa, but I went to Fort Payne Fire College.
Did you really? Okay.
And I did it for 1 year, and I went on a mission trip at the end of that year with my church, Gardendale First Baptist in Africa. Saw some things that happened there. I came back and said, Dad, I really think I need to join the military. And that's what drove me into the SEAL team. So I went toward the SEAL teams at 19 is when I actually went into the Navy.
Wow.
So I had a year out of high school doing being a firefighter.
Being a firefighter, and then you went into the military. Now that was a whole experience. How long were you in the military?
So 8 years is what I was in, but the last year and a half I was going through a medical process to, basically get your, med retirement out of the SEAL teams. So 6.5 years in the SEAL teams of active duty.
Does anybody come out of the SEAL team without a medical thing?
No, I will say, so for...
The damage on the body
Oh, yeah.
is unbelievable. Plus, if you've been in combat.
Yeah, I broke my neck once, broke my back a few times.
good
I've had some knee
Lord.
surgeries and all that,
Well,
but
he
it's...
says that so nonchalantly.
Yeah, I broke my neck.
Yeah, like you stubbed your
Well,
toe.
there's guys that have suffered way more than I have in the teams and continue to move on. I would say back injuries and TBIs, head injuries, that was probably
that's
the biggest
what's
thing.
really they've come out with. There were so many IEDs and all the percussion stuff. Now they're finding out that anybody that's been in any military situation, training even, but combat, man, their head injury is they underestimated it amazing.
I remember the first rocket I was shot with, and it was like, when you're playing high school football, you get hit really hard, and you're kind of seeing the lights are flashing, you definitely got a concussion. And the first rocket, I was like, oh man, that really rocked my world.
Really, that was a rocket like an.
It was just an RPG.
RPG,
now, we
yeah.
hit some IEDs, and it does the same thing. Like the force goes through the truck, and it creates a
shockwave.
A shockwave, essentially, right? And it'll create a cavity in the air, and then that air will close back in. And so, anyway, all that being said, it's the that blast force will really, take the starch out of you for a minute.
And then they never knew how much take the starch out of you. Little weak and limpy.
Yeah, your ears are
Plus
ringing.
you can't
you're
hear.
Like, golly.
I don't know how you did it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You know what? You grew up. You went in the military. Did you also do some law enforcement?
So when I left the military, going through the medical process, trying to get med retirement or VA or whatever, because I couldn't be in the SEAL teams anymore.
Right.
And as I'm going through that process, I actually came back to Alabama and became a law enforcement officer here in the state, Shelby County Sheriff's Office.
I love that.
John Samaniego, who was the chief deputy at the time, I met him.
I love that guy.
Okay, so you know,
I know him well.
So he was the chief deputy.
I knew him when he was at Tuscaloosa Police Department,
Okay, yeah,
and then I've
yeah.
known him all these years, and I do all of his work. If you call the sheriff's department, my voice answers the phone.
Oh, really? Well, somebody said
That doesn't
he's
surprise me.
somebody said he's retiring
He is?
soon. So
Yeah.
I don't know when he is, but he was the chief deputy at the time. I met him at a training out on
Was
the West
Curry
Coast.
the
Curry was the
yeah.
sheriff, and so, I found his card in the cruise box. I called him and I said, "Hey, this is what happened. I'm out of the SEAL teams. I'm back in Alabama. Can I get a job?" And he worked me through the process. I got hired, went on full time, did 1 year full time, finished my MBA, and had better business opportunities.
Right.
We moved back to North Jefferson, so we moved out of Chelsea, back to North Jefferson, started my business, started the nonprofit, and I still
Is
stay
that when
sworn.
you started the
Covenant Rescue
Covenant
Group
Rescue
and then
Group?
the Shooting Institute, the
Good for
company
you,
and the
both of them,
nonprofit.
yeah.
Yeah, so we do that, and that's what I started doing full time. And I keep my credentials through Sheriff Mark Moon in
Good.
Blount County, and I'm still a TFO with Homeland
Good for
Security.
you. Good
Yeah.
for
Oh,
you.
wow. Okay, so you served as a Navy SEAL. So that time in the military, do you feel like was it that made you come out and say, I think I want to serve in a different capacity? When did you know you wanted to run for Senate, or what made you want to go into politics at all?
Oh, well, I would say nothing really made me want to go into politics.
Right.
So in 2021, I ran for sheriff in Jefferson County, and I don't.
that.
The Lord just kind of laid it on my heart, opened some doors, and I told my wife, and she's like, I don't want you to do this, but I'll support you. And so we stepped off into it. Met with Mike Hill. There was an incumbent Democrat, Mark Petway. He's the guy who beat me. Beat me by like a point and a half. I think it was about
Right,
75.
it was close.
Yeah, it was. It was like 7,500 votes out of 200,000, or something along those lines. But it was about a point and a half I lost by. But everybody thought, like, dude, if you run as a Republican, you're going to get like 30% of the vote.
Right.
We got like 48
in Jefferson
48 and a half.
County or the city of Birmingham.
That's
Yeah.
right. So when we did so well, I guess, even though we lost, we did well. That's
Yeah.
kind of what kept me tied into politics.
Yeah.
And I leaned on that. It really helped our organization, Covenant Rescue Group, and put us on the map in a way that a lot of people that supported that sheriff's race started supporting Covenant Rescue Group financially, to the point that the board is like, hey, we've got to bring you in and a team of guys in full time. We can't continue to do this part time anymore. So we started doing that full time at the end of 2022 after losing that sheriff's race. And CRG has been blowing and going, providing training for local law enforcement nationwide, and then setting up operations for them so they can make successful arrests and prosecutions of individuals who are buying and selling kids.
All right, let me ask you this, because this is something we've talked about. Teresa and I did. I was so naive. Even in the business that I'm in, I was naive about how big and bad a problem human trafficking has become. I finally took a course with the FBI in Birmingham. I did the citizens, and I was astounded and horrified at how big a problem, especially even in our area, because we're on the crossroads between I-20 and 65, and so Birmingham actually has a lot of traffic through here with trafficking. So it's a big, evil problem. It's evil. It ruins lives horribly. What do you do in Covenant Rescue Group? Explain to me what y'all do.
Yeah,
And
so
how did you come up with this? I mean, I
I just
That's
say
a-
the Lord. I mean, it's just the Lord
You
opened
got
the
the call.
doors. Yeah, and it was the Lord opened the doors. He'd been blessing the company to a point, doing all the training that I still teach for the SEAL teams and for all
you
branches of
really?
the military. Oh yeah, I still
You
teach.
got some skills, my
I
friend.
just teach shooting, pistol, carbine, CQB, nothing crazy. How to clear rooms and all that. Still
That's neat.
instruct sniper. Where I was a sniper instructor when I was in. I still do that stuff that I'm out now. So I was just doing my normal business, running the small business, had some employees, and the Lord really blessed us and tied us in with some other organizations that were doing human trafficking work. But I really had a heart to do it here stateside or bring it back stateside, because nobody was working stateside. So The Lord just
Is
opened the doors.
everybody doing Blackwater type stuff
Everybody
just
goes
all over the world?
because it's easier to do it overseas.
You make more money too, don't you?
Well, I won't even say that you make more money necessarily. I mean, there probably is that aspect to it, but it's easier to go. Like we went to Haiti and we did work in Haiti. We go to Sub-Saharan Africa, did work there. Went to Israel after October 7th and worked with them. It's easier to support a foreign entity. One, because a lot of times they don't have the same rules that we have. But number two, it's you get invited by the host government and they kind of open the doors.
You get all the
red
credentials
carpet.
and everything else.
They take, and so you're able to operate and work. Here stateside, it's different. And each county or each prosecutorial jurisdiction is like its own little country.
Right.
So it's all we do is we teach local law enforcement how to proactively go after human trafficking.
Good deal.
They don't because you can't. It's very difficult to proactively go after. You have to have a tip, or hey, we believe this guy's talking to this young lady online. Here's the tip, and then you have to investigate it. And it takes months to do that. And then when you find the probable cause that investigator needs, then they can get warrants and go make an arrest. It's a tedious process. What we do is we teach them how to build felony cases in, honestly, about 3 hours.
Really? So it's quick.
It's quick. Yeah, it's much quicker. And you get more bang for your buck. But what they do, 93% of kids that are impacted or exploited by people they're known by. So 37% of the time, it's like mother, father, aunt, uncle. It's a close family member who's exploiting that child. 46% of the time, it's somebody who's known to the child, a person
friend
of
the family, uncle, cousin.
Maybe a law enforcement officer, maybe a teacher, a coach, whatever, in that case. Wow. So when you see that, that's 93% of the time. You will never tap into that as law enforcement without having a tip where there's actually a victim. You can't proactively go after it. So we teach agencies how to target the 7% of the time of not so much tied to somebody. And when we do that, we're able to make arrest on a guy, shouldn't say, for a 14-year-old girl. And then we find, because we have a real crime that's taking place, we have probable cause, we get into their life, we rip their phones. Now they don't have the same constitutional protections that they had before they committed this crime, where they thought they were buying a 14-year-old girl. Now we dig into all their stuff and we find where there's real victims. And I would say 30% of the individuals that are arrested in any operation we do, we find real victims in the area, most of the time related to or a person of trust.
Yeah. Well, we had this situation out here in Bibb County.
It's the Bibb County situation perfectly embodies that 93%. I hate to say perfectly embodies because it's a terrible situation. But you'll understand what I mean, that 93% statistic. You had a mother who was receiving drugs, essentially, and I'm just kind of regurgitating some of what I heard the sheriff say. You had a mother that was receiving drugs, and she wasn't a part of it. She didn't want to be a part of it necessarily, but she's getting her drugs, she's doing her thing, and she's letting boyfriend and his buddies take the kids off and sell the kids or perform sex acts, do child porn, whatever it is with the kids, in that tornado storm shelter. Now everybody thinks like the movies, kids locked in a storm shelter on chains. But that's not necessarily what's going on. These kids still get out, they go in, they sleep in their house at night, they still get fed, they go to school, whatever it is, right? But what's happening?
They have sessions.
They have sessions. That's it. And who are these kids going to tell? And this is what I always tell you. Like, why wouldn't the 13-year-old say something to somebody? Everybody in this child's life that they're supposed to trust has proven themselves untrustworthy. Mm-hmm. Mama, daddy, mama's boyfriend, boyfriend's buddies, maybe my uncle, whoever it is, everybody in that child's life has proven themselves untrustworthy. Why in the world do I think that just because I show up with a badge and a gun that they're going to trust me?
Spill their guts.
Or just because I show up as somebody from the church that they're going to trust me? Proverbs says that the heart of a person is deep, and it takes a wise person to draw out those deep waters to see what's going on. And one of the things that I've seen with a lot of forensic interviews of older females that are caught in trafficking is that they were impacted as a child.
Yes.
And they don't. So now you've got a 30-year-old woman who doesn't trust law enforcement. She doesn't trust anybody, because when she was, the earliest I've heard of somebody remember was when they were 6. The earliest I've seen, we caught a guy showing up for a 14-year-old girl. He was having sex with his own 18-month-old daughter.
18-month-old?
Making porn and sending it out. The one thing the FBI is good at is being able to follow where those things go to.
So
and
they can find the people that...
They'll find the people that are buying it. And so that is one thing the FBI does. Homeland Security is good at that, really good at that too. Homeland Security is very good at at the federal level of these types of stings that we run. But the reason we're big at the local level, I think it's John Locke or maybe William Blackstone. Either way, it doesn't matter. The guys from the late 1700s said the closest form of government to the people is the most effective form of government. And that is true in human trafficking. The local sheriff's office, the local PD, the local prosecutorial jurisdiction, whoever the prosecutor is for that area, they are going to be the most effective form of government, especially when you're looking at proactively dealing with human trafficking, because they understand the dynamics of the community. The last thing I'll give you, all these predator hunters and all that stuff that's out there, I'm not saying it's good that they're trying to do something. Their heart is good, but Proverbs 19:2 says, zeal without knowledge causes you to miss the mark. They're super zealous, but they have no knowledge of what they're doing.
Right.
I don't want to say a percentage, but from what I've seen, it's about 60 to 65% of the individuals they're showing up, like bringing to Walmart to meet a 12-year-old or 14-year-old, and they're beating them up, and they're telling them they're sick and doing all this stuff. A large majority, 60-something% of those guys that they bring in when they find out, they have some mental disability, like they're autistic or something like that. And we've seen that on our operations. And working with the local sheriff's office or working with a local PD, when you see who's coming through or even you make an arrest at the door, most of the time they know, they have knowledge, and they're like, hang on a second, we know something's going on here. They'll call that guy's family or mom. That doesn't mean it needs to be dealt with. I don't care what your mental disability is. If you come after one of my daughters, you're going to get stacked, right? Now, so it doesn't mean that we don't need to deal with it.
Right.
But you deal with it in a different way than the 40-year-old coach who knows exactly what he's doing. So that's what we teach law enforcement.
And I said, with this thing in Bibb County specifically, they caught all these adults. There were like 8 of them, 10 of them. Then and I said, mark my words, when they got the first 4, I said, this is not where it is. This is where it is right now. But there is way more to this. There is somebody way up there pulling strings and making this happen. It goes downhill. They are not the masterminds behind this. And sure enough, you keep going and you keep finding, and there's more and more and more people that were involved in this other than the first 4 that they got.
And what you'll find is evil has no concern of those affected. That's just,
True.
That's just what we see. We look at Charlie Kirk yesterday. It's okay. You don't like Charlie Kirk, but realize that when you kill Charlie Kirk, you're just not impacting Charlie Kirk. You're impacting the whole nation, but you're impacting, more importantly, his wife and those 2 babies.
Yeah, not him. He's gone.
Evil has no concern of those that it affects, and it's what's happening to these individuals. And it might just be that somebody's purchasing child porn. Oh, I'm not actively doing it. I'm not physically doing it, so they're kind of removed through a screen.
Oh, yeah, I'm not that
but
bad.
They don't realize that what you're doing is unbelievably evil, because there are real children who are affected in this negative way.
Oh, God, for the rest of their lives. It's permanent damage.
Permanent damage. But that's what got me into the Senate race. Just so you know, all of this stuff kept me into politics. I'd go to D.C., meet with people about what we're doing with CRG, and then it kind of just happened around March time frame. I was asked by some supporters, hey, if Coach runs for governor, would you consider this? And I was, probably not initially, but the more the Lord opened the doors and more I saw the positive impact I could have as a U.S. Senator, I was like, all right, let's make this happen.
And
Let's do it.
I think you made your announcement in May, wasn't it?
Yeah, so Coach announced on, which tracked with everything I learned from meeting with the White House and everybody. They'd all said, hey, Coach is going to announce the day after Memorial Day. And I was like, all right, well, I guess we'll wait and see.
The day after that.
And so he announced on Memorial Day, and I was going to announce that evening. I'd called Leland on a radio show, and I was just going to tell on the radio show, but, wisdom got the better of me. I said, you know what? I'm going to wait and see. Maybe somebody really good will announce tonight. And nobody did. And it kind of irritated me because I'd heard names and stuff.
Sure.
But all of these folks in the political arena, it's all climbing a ladder. It's all political ambition. And all they do is they sit back and calculate.
Right.
And they wait till it's safe. They don't care about serving the people. They don't care about fighting on behalf of you, the people of Alabama, in Washington, D.C., as opposed to bringing the issues of Washington, D.C. back to Alabama. They care about one thing. They care about themselves.
Their career.
And so for me, I waited that evening. Nobody announced. That morning I go in. I don't hear anything on the radio. Nobody's come out. So I went ahead and announced the day after Coach did. Yeah.
Good deal. I saw you on the Sean Ryan show, and it was really good. And I love the hat that you gave him that said "Crush Evil."
Crush Evil, yeah.
I love
That is
that because
awesome.
that fits everything.
Do you sell that? Is that
It is. Yeah, you can go to
Okay.
covenantrescue.org.
Yeah,
Anybody wants to
got-
order, they can Crush Evil shirts, Crush Evil hat.
He's got some good stuff on
Y'all
there.
can order all that stuff. You know, I don't. We've got a whole team that deals with all that
With all
stuff.
that,
I don't
yeah.
get to deal with it
You're,
anymore.
they're
because
the merch people.
I would go in all at halftime, and I'd grab a T-shirt, throw it on, and walk out or whatever.
Yeah.
And they got sick of it,
Hey,
so it's
you
all
gotta
been
pay
locked
for
down.
that.
Dude, it's all been locked down. We
He
can't
has
even get.
people now.
Yeah,
He has
the
people.
CEO can't even get a shirt and a hat.
I know. It's funny. Well, you can pay for it.
Yeah, that's
do
right.
you get a
I can pay
discount?
for it. No, I don't get no discount. Don't even get no
Full price.
discount.
All right, so let's go fast forward here. So now, what you've got to do is you've got to get the Republican primary
That's
out of
right.
the way. Is that in May?
May 19th.
May 19th. So you've got two guys running against you that are strong.
Yeah.
They're going to be. This is going to be a tough race for you. Now, I really, be honest with you, I didn't hardly know any of the Democratic people running.
yeah, no.
I didn't know the names. So I don't know. I just don't see that being a big problem. I think once
Oh
we
no,
get
it'll
down,
be it's over in Alabama. When it's a
Whoever wins
statewide
the-
election,
Right.
whoever wins the Republican primary will be your next senator, will be your next governor,
Right.
will be your next lieutenant governor. Whatever your statewide elections are, they're picked in the Republican primary.
So you've got a pretty tough job ahead of you for the next while. When you talk to people about being our senator, one of our senators, what do you tell people you are? What's your platform? What we know about all this great work you've done and your past and your law enforcement. Tell me, if I didn't know you from anybody, I walk up and say, you're running for senator. What do you tell me?
Yeah, so I mean, the first thing I would say is, like I said earlier, I'm a Christian, but in Alabama political season, everybody's a Christian. I'm a born-again believer in the person of Jesus Christ. Jesus came to this world, lived a perfect life, died, rose again on the third day for my sins and yours, and it's through him we're set free. The reason I say that is because it's the only thing about Jared Hudson that's eternal. The next thing I'll tell you, the most important thing about Jared Hudson is I'm a father and a husband. Husband first, then father, I guess. But I have a beautiful wife with 3 beautiful little girls, and I love them dearly. I'm an Alabama family man. My family, born and raised here, raising my family in the state of Alabama. And then the third thing is what we just talked about, my career, Navy SEAL, sniper, and what we do at Covenant Rescue Group and law enforcement. Now, how does that transition into a U.S. Senate run? Well, for far too long, in my opinion, and this is what I've seen, and I think y'all would probably agree with me on this, for far too long, we've seen individuals who just climb a political ladder.
Bingo.
Every choice they make is political ambition. Now, I don't want to ever, cast stones or, make a statement based on what I believe the heart of another man is, because our heart is deceptive above all things. The only person that knows your heart is God. But what we've seen, we know them by their fruits, right? And so there can be a little bit of judgment placed from the fruits that we see. When you constantly see somebody moving up a political ladder and all they do is they calculate politically, the question is, are they really there serving you, the people, or do they believe that they are the ones who should be served? So the preamble to the Constitution, we the people, you are the top of the chain of command. The people of the state of Alabama are the top of the chain of command, not the senator, not the governor, not any, we are there to serve on behalf of the state of Alabama.
Right.
And so the reason I bring that up is I know this about myself. Everybody else seeks political ambition. I truly am seeking service. I have a career of service. I've got a wife and 3 girls who I try to serve daily. My wife might argue against that sometimes, right?
Of course, that's her job.
That's right. That's right. And obviously, it's an eternal calling. You got to make sure that this is the direction that God is moving you. And as I looked through that, I said, you know what? I can serve the people of Alabama. I can serve the United States of America. I've been willing to give my life for it. I'm still willing to give my life for it. And why would I want, if I had an opportunity to step in and do something, why would I want the normal career politician to go up there and continue to mess up this nation and this state for my daughters? What kind of man am I if I had the opportunity to do it and I didn't do something? So I'll leave you with this. Washington, D.C. needs warriors, and I'm not some slick-tongued politician telling you that I can be a warrior. I've shot people on behalf of this nation. I've lost buddies on behalf of this nation.
Gotten shot at.
I've gotten shot at on behalf of this nation. I still go out and fight the evil at the door with what we do in law enforcement and human trafficking here in the state. I'm asking y'all, send a warrior to Washington, D.C., so I can make sure that I bring the issues of the people of Alabama, whatever they are, to D.C. and not the issues of Washington, D.C. back to the people of Alabama. So that's kind of what I say.
Amen.
You got my vote.
All right. Well, thank
Mine
you.
too.
All right. Well, thank you.
Well, stay with us because when we
Yes,
come
ma'am.
back, we're going to get a little silly. So, going to get a little silly.
Uh-oh.
We're going to ask some questions, and I bet you probably some you've never been asked on an interview.
That'll be
So we're just gonna
perfectly
get to know
fine.
Jared a little more. So y'all
That'd
stay
be
with
great.
us. You're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. Treese and Dollar Bill broadcasting live from the Clinton Tractor Studio with Jared Hudson. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Chilton Mobile Home Parts and Supply is your go-to destination for top quality mobile home parts and supplies in Clanton, Alabama. Conveniently located at 14023 County Road 29, just 3 miles east of Thorsby. We offer a diverse inventory, including underpinning, doors, windows, faucets, tubs, setup supplies, and more. Our commitment to quality ensures you'll find the best solutions for your mobile home needs. Upgrade your space with stylish doors and windows. Enhance functionality with top-notch faucets and tubs. All conveniently available in one place. Visit us today or call 205-646-1949. Transform your mobile home with Chilton, where quality meets convenience. Looking for the perfect way to unwind, compete, and have fun with friends or family? Then Putter Up Pelham is your next destination. Coming this June. Whether you're a mini golf pro or just out for a good time, Putter Up offers a one-of-a-kind indoor putting experience with custom effects lighting, sounds, and robotics at each hole. Plus, automated scoring and a virtual caddy to guide your game. And our ADA-compliant courses include special putters for individuals using wheelchairs or walkers. So everyone can join the fun from ages 4 to 100. Rain or shine, day or night, it's always game time at Putter Up. Come for the fun, stay for the challenge. Swing by Putter Up, where every stroke counts. Need reliable towing or diesel repair? Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair has you covered. We specialize in light and heavy duty towing and recovery with the latest equipment for any job, from campers and tractor trailers to winch box recoveries, and the only local-based rotator in the county. We do it all. Our diesel repair services include computer diagnostics, engine rebuilds, transmission and clutch work, and general maintenance. Trust Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair for top-notch service. Call us at 205-217-1984. Some family traditions begin with an ending. Lasting family legacies are established at Martin Funeral Home, where for over 100 years, we have served the families in our community. Bobby, Donnie, Norma, and our family at Martin Funeral Home would like to express our sincere gratitude for allowing us to serve your family. Every life story deserves the perfect setting. We are here to make that happen for you and your loved one. We offer traditional funeral home services, and we are now excited to be the home of the first crematory in Clanton, Alabama. Our goal is to serve our families no matter what their needs are. Martin Funeral Home, serving Chilton County since 1921. Please give us a call at 205-755-3550.
Universal Heights Academy is now enrolling for the following programs: aesthetics, manicurist, waxing, cosmetology, barbering, and the instructor crossover program. We are offering small class sizes for more personalized instruction. Hybrid and online classes are also available. Find us on Facebook or visit uhaway.com for more information on our discounted enrollment rates. Your rewarding career starts with Universal Heights Academy.
We are back. The time is 9:15. You're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. We're going a little long today because we have a very special guest, Jared Hudson. Jared is running for U.S. Senate, and then he's got a resume that's a mile long. I wrote it down like this. Navy SEAL, law enforcement, author, speaker, founder and CEO of Covenant Rescue Group, instructor for the Shooting Institute. You are a husband and a father. What else do you do? What do you do in your spare time? I mean, the spare time that you probably don't have a lot
do you
of.
have a hobby?
Do you have a hobby? Do you
I
golf,
love
rugby, soccer?
No, I'm not a golfer or anything like that. We do a golf tournament every year. We got one coming up in November. If anybody here wants to join for Covenant Rescue Group, we do a golf tournament every year.
Absolutely.
That's what all the guys on the team, they all like golf. I used to shoot clay some, but I
love sporting clays.
Yeah, I used to shoot that some. But bow hunting. If I get to do anything, I like to sit by myself with a bow and a tree stand.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong
Whether
with
you
that.
shoot anything or not.
Whether I shoot
It's
anything or
being
not,
in the woods.
most of the time I don't shoot anything.
I know.
To be honest with you, you just watch them walk through, and it's like,
It's just being out in God's world.
I do like taking my two older daughters hunting now. They've both shot their first deer. They don't like. They like the deer, and then they get excited and they want to shoot it. Then after they
feel
shot
bad
it,
about
they're
killing it.
they're like, they don't want to kill it. Especially my middle daughter. But I do enjoy hunting with my daughters because it's nice being in the woods with them. But it's not like what I do. Like at one time in my life, I was that guy who, I'm spraying down with everything. I'm not taking showers for 2 weeks so I can get in the bow stand. And my wife is mad.
All nasty and
spending
nothing like coming home smelling like deer urine.
Sun up to sundown in a tree stand, moving around trying to kill a buck. And every buck you see, when you finally shoot one, you're like, oh, yeah, I got him. It's a big 160-inch 10-point. You go over and look at him. It's like, nah, that wasn't near as big as I thought it was.
Barely a spike. And my Boone score is not what I thought.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
It's funny, but I agree with you on the going out in the woods with your daughters or your sons. It's a good experience that more people should do, whether you hunt or not. It's nothing wrong with just going out, but there's something about that was always good for my soul.
Yeah.
Have you heard
I've gone out and never shot.
Have you heard of Majestic Outdoors?
I don't
It's
think
in
so.
Pell City. They're a faith-based organization, and what they do is they kind of do that. They give fathers and sons and mothers and daughters, or fathers and daughters, a chance to do that. You go and it's a ministry, and you learn about the labors of fruit and they teach you safety for all the different things, and you get to go out and they do youth hunts, and they have mentors there that help. And a lot of times you may have a kid that wants to hunt, but they don't really have somebody in their life to do that with them. So they provide that experience, and it's just it's a whole thing. They usually have a speaker that teaches the word, and they do all different kinds of things like that. It's a really good ministry for
really
kids,
cool,
and I think and that's kind of what they say. You get that one-on-one time. You're on God's land. You can have that one-on-one with God, but at the same time, you can teach a young person and be their mentor. And I think it's a great organization.
That's really cool. It's funny you mention that too. And it doesn't matter what you do, if it's golf, if it's fishing, if it's hunting, if it's my granddaddy, he's a farmer. Now he wants to kill every deer out there because all they do is eat his corn and his watermelons. Yeah, he's like, kill them all, but he's not a hunter. That being said, is whatever you do in your life, as Christians, if you're a believer, if you believe in Jesus like I do, whatever you do in your life, the purpose of that is it is your ministry. You are supposed to share.
It's your
Christ.
job.
It's your job. You
Your
share
obligation.
Christ with everybody you come in contact with through, in that case, I guess, the land, the woods, the hunting aspect of it with that ministry. But whatever it is, whoever's listening, whatever you do, you might be a machinist. You might be in a machine shop. Your ministry is that machine shop. It's not always the ivory tower of the church. I have a dad that's a pastor, and I tell him all the time, I say, yeah, you're down here in the ivory tower of the church where it's easy to sit around and talk about it. But when you get out in the reality of the world, the purpose is for you to share Christ. And then the purpose of the church, the pastor and the leadership of the church, is for you to be able to go as a Christian member of that body of Christ and be filled up, so then you can go out and
recharge
minister.
that
That's
battery.
it. That is the purpose behind it. It's a force multiplier. What you do is a force multiplier for how you share Christ.
I love the way you military term force. I've never heard. I'm a force multiplier for Jesus.
Well, that's what I say about
like
the
it.
Senate. That's what I say about the Senate thing. Is that it's a force multiplier for all the stuff I've done, and a force multiplier is So everybody listening knows is a machine gun to me, right?
Right.
So
Something really sprays it out.
That's
there.
right. I can give one SEAL a belt-fed machine gun, and I can make him the equivalent as 4 SEALs in a gunfight.
Right.
And it's for whatever your job is, whatever you do, whatever your hobby is, that's a force multiplier for Christ. For the U.S. Senate seat, it's a force multiplier for all the things I've been involved in and more. It can be a force multiplier for good, or it can be a force multiplier for bad.
Right.
And it just depends on who embodies that spot. For me, it's I want to be a force multiplier for good.
For us.
Yeah,
for
that's
good.
it. Yeah.
Listen, can I ask?
You can ask anything.
All right. A dude question. What's your favorite handgun to carry?
Well, I can tell you the one I'm carrying now is a.
I knew he was packing. I said he's gonna be packing.
Yeah. I always have a gun on me somewhere, but SIG 365 Macro is a good concealed carry gun. But probably my favorite gun to carry or work with, I've got a Nighthawk Custom TRS Comp.
That is an expensive handgun.
You didn't have to say that on there, because my wife will probably hear that. It is an expensive handgun, but it's that is probably my favorite gun to carry. So it's a 2011 style. It's like the old 1911s.
Right, yeah.
They made 2011s, which are 9mm double stack. Handguns.
13 shots.
Well, so the 1911s would be the single stack, which would leave you about 13 shots, or maybe even 10 with a 9mm. The double stack, you can get 17 or 20 round mags with that 2011. I like that 2011 style. So a lot of guys shoot staccatos. There's a SIG just came out with a pretty nice 2011 style pistol. I think it's called the P211 if I remember right, but that's what I do like those styles.
I like the SIG too.
They hide all my mistakes, all my bad shooting techniques. They hide it. I can mess everything up and it still hits.
When I built my first AR, I went out and I'm not that good a shot.
You built one?
Yeah, I bought the base and then put the picnic on off. Played
Phil.
with it. But I was
Know this
a
about
crappy shot. I mean, I couldn't hit nothing hardly. Not good eye. So I went out and spent, my wife, I hope she's not, she may be listening. I bought.
You're going to mess yourself up here in just a second.
Yeah, I am. I'm about to get in trouble. I bought a Trichicon really expensive scope. Sight.
Like an ACOG or a red dot?
ACOG.
ACOG, okay.
Oh my God, I could hit a golf ball. I could have been, I felt like I was a sniper, But it's only because I had that great thing. But you were talking about taking your daughter. You teach sniper, you teach firearms. Yeah. You're a great shot, I'm sure. Are your daughters going to all be great shots?
Well, I mean, they're shooting now. I mean, they. My daughter, when she was, I think my oldest, when she was 6, I took all the girls and my wife out. My wife shot a nice 8-point at about 500 yards.
Really?
Yeah, so I took her out and let her shoot the gun. But I put Everly behind the gun. She's 6, and she was hitting. Now it's a big steel plate, but got her behind the gun. It was a 6.5 Creedmoor, easy, low recoil.
Creedmoor, I love that round.
And I call it a 6.5 needs more. That's what a lot of guys say. It needs a little bit more gas behind it. That's
Just
why
a
you
little more.
Run that 6.5 PRC, and that'll really makes it happen. But the she shot a target at 800 yards, and she was 6 at the time, I believe. So
and she hit the metal?
She hit the metal, yeah, she hit it. I mean, it wasn't like, it's a big plate, but
it doesn't matter.
But she's 6.
She wasn't intimidated by the boom. And
no, because I got suppressors on everything.
Oh, you do?
So what I do with them at home, I've got a 22 I built out for them with a suppressor on the end of it. We'll sit in the backyard. I've got the deer target that I shoot my bow at. And we'll sit back there, and I got a little steel plate that I'll put up in front of the kill zone, and we'll sit on the porch, and it's about 70 yards across the backyard from the porch, and
just plink away.
I'll set it up on the tripod, and I'll talk them through it, and they get set up, and they they shoot the 22. Suppressed 22 with subs.
No
and they
nap,
hit
no
the
noise,
steel plate.
no kick.
My nephew.
Now, do they know how to do wind? Are you teaching them windage and
not right now?
Okay.
No, not so much now.
Are they doing iron sights or through a scope?
No, scope. I mean, they can shoot iron sights. I've had them do that with the pellet gun or the BB gun, but the scope primarily with the rifles, because I'm getting them ready for deer season, right?
No, you're not. You're getting them ready for dating season.
No, there you go. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I know what you're getting them ready for.
I built them a little 8.6 blackout, or it's a 338 Creedmoor, whatever you want to call it, but it's an unbelievable subsonic round. A lot of guys don't like it.
I like subsonic.
Oh, sub is great. Got a can on the end of it, and it kills the fire out of it. From 150 yards in, you will kill anything you shoot with it. That thing is going. It's like doing 65,000 RPMs because it's got a 1 and 3 twist. So it's doing 65,000 RPMs. Not that anybody
It's
listening,
spinning
it's
that
spinning so
much.
fast that when it hits, let's put it this way: it spins fast enough if you shoot supersonic out of it, and it's not a copper bullet. It's just, or it's not a a solid
Metal clad, yeah.
It's just got a jacket on it. It spins the jacket off, and it will tear up your suppressor.
It'll actually spin it off before it even leaves the barrel.
Yeah, it'll spin it off in your suppressor and tear your suppressor up.
Oh, wow.
So I shoot subs out of it, and the girls love it.
But you know what? I just got to say, your daughters, they're beautiful. Beautiful. Three
Thank
beautiful
you.
girls.
Yep.
I would hate to be a suitor for them with you at home.
Oh, they're going to get the interrogation.
Well, I mean,
Can you
know,
imagine
Oh,
having to
luckily
go
you
home
have to think
to
about it
Jared,
for a little
you know,
while.
with his resume and going, "Sir, can I
I
take
will-
your daughter out?"
I will say this: I pray every day for my girls. Obviously, I pray every day for my girls. I pray for their purity. I pray that God would protect them. I pray that God would raise up for them strong men after His own heart to be their husbands. So I do pray for that every day. So I am looking for that. I'm looking forward to that when it does happen because I do believe the Lord will provide that
Right.
in a young
It'll
man.
be
At
a
the same
positive.
time, there's going to be some scrutiny placed on that young man.
I'm just sitting here cleaning my gun. Remember that song?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just sitting here cleaning my gun. Y'all
Yeah.
have a good night.
Feel this
Don't be
out.
late.
I might have to tell a kid, hey, look, I ain't gonna hit a kid, but I'll beat your dad up. That's what it's probably gonna be.
I never thought about that. That's
I'm
funny.
gonna show up and work
I
your
can't
dad.
hit you yet. You're too young, but boy, your dad's gonna pay for this if you make me mad. That's Jared.
That's
Is
hilarious.
amazing.
All right. Question I always ask: outside of your wife, who's your bestie?
Outside of my wife, who's my bestie? Like, who do I trust the most? Man, I've got.
Somebody you would not let on air that they would tell all your stuff. Yeah.
Gosh, man, I don't.
Oh, I can't let him go.
I would assume, Jared, that in the SEAL teams, y'all develop quite a.
I've got quite a few close friends that I would trust with my, obviously trust with my life, but I would also trust with my money and my wife. That's always the joke in the SEAL team.
That's it,
You
true,
trust
yeah.
you trust a team guy with your life, but not your
Not
money,
your money or your wife.
Yeah.
That's it.
I have two guys that I think of right now that I would trust with my life, my money, my wife. And there's a lot of other guys that I might, but the two I'm thinking of, a guy who works for me now, Stuart Hartley, and another guy, Mike Rebels.
Good.
Mike doesn't work with us anymore. He's kind of retired. He moved down to Gulf Shores to
Oh, he's living
help
the
his
life.
wife.
Okay.
Yeah, to help his wife with just moved down there with her parents as they're getting older and to be there with mom and dad. But he is both of those dudes. There's
Solid as a rock.
solid as a rock. Yeah.
Now you've also got some really good hair. So do your girls?
I don't know. My
Do
wife,
your-
you see how my wife says, "Hey, your hair's thinning. You're getting old." That's what she says. So
But do your girls?
I wish mine would fit. Look,
yeah, yours really is thin.
yeah, mine's real thin.
He had a mohawk and he shaved it off, and I was like, Jared would have thought you were so cool with that.
I know,
But
yeah, it
his
did.
wife
Well, I had a
bullied him
mohawk, but
until
it was
he
the most
shaved it.
world's most pitiful mohawk. And my wife hammered on me all the time to get to shave it. And then she told me one night, "I'm going to shave it when you're sleeping one night." And sure enough, about a week later, I was asleep in that twilight, and I heard the little clipper come on. And I jumped out of bed, and it was her adjusting the bed.
That's right.
That's
yeah,
how-
you thought she was going to shave your head. Yeah.
So I went in and it's one of those things. If I'm going to have my mohawk shaved, I'm going to do
That's
it.
right. I'm going to be the one to
I'm
do
going to
it.
be the one to do it.
Well, so I guess your girl having girls, you're a girl dad. So how many curlers have you had in your hair?
Oh, my
How many,
goodness.
How many
So
times have you
now-
had
now-
your nails painted?
Now I use I used to have my hair down to about my shoulders.
saw-
I'll grow,
I
yeah,
saw a
I have my
video
hair.
of
I've
you.
had, and especially when I was doing a lot of undercover stuff, the girls would say, "Daddy, boys are not supposed to have long hair," but it's okay. We see that Jesus has long hair.
Right.
Right.
But if I ever pulled it back into like a ponytail or something dumb, like a little ninja knot or something like that, they would get upset. They would say, "Daddy, you don't put these in your hair. Boys don't put these in their hair." So I had to stay down. So anyway, now that but fingernail painting, they don't paint fingernails. They don't like it when I wear a purple shirt or a pink shirt or something like
Really?
that.
Good for
They're
them.
like, "Daddy, boys don't wear that." I'm like, "Would you not think it looks good?" They're like, and Everly, my oldest now, she'd be like, "Well, it looks good, but
it's
boys don't wear those colors."
pink.
So that is kind of how they act toward that. The hardest thing is they ask. I can braid, so I can braid hair. And they'll try to, when my hair is long, put stuff in it, but they want me to do stuff to their hair, especially the 3-year-old. She'll come up pitching a fit if mama's gone or whatever, pitching a fit, and she'll say she wants a very specific thing happening to her hair. She wants a French braid or something. I'm
Really?
like,
Can you do that?
no, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
I can braid it, but I'll braid it, and and she says, she goes, it's ugly, and pitches a fit. Like, get your sister to help you. I don't know. I don't know how to do this.
Did you miss the French
Oh, no,
braiding
I said,
class
what
in
the-
SEAL team?
Dutch braid. A Dutch braid.
I don't even know what that
I've never
is.
heard of
A
it.
Dutch braid. That's the one that she really confused. She said, I want a Dutch braid. And I'm like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what a Dutch braid is. But it's one of my buddy's daughters she's 13. No, she's not. She's 12. She just turned 12. She does a Dutch braid apparently in my youngest daughter's hair all the time, and that's what she wanted.
Okay.
And so anyway,
You wear wooden shoes when you're wearing that or something?
I mean, yeah, we should, right?
Yeah,
You know?
right.
Get that
That's
YouTube
amazing.
out and learn how to do it.
I'm not. There's just, there's
Lickety
we
split.
draw the line somewhere,
Your wife, how does she feel about you running for Senate? I mean, this is, if you get that changes your whole
It does.
life in such a, I mean, would you live in D.C. or would
No,
you stay
so-
here? And how would you going to work that out with your family?
So there's two aspects to that. So I talked about running for sheriff. My wife's like, I don't think you should do it. Don't want you to do it, but I'll support you wholeheartedly.
Right.
For her, when I was asked to do this, and I said, hey, we need to look into this. We've been asked. We spent a couple of days praying about it. She came back to me. She said, I don't know why, but I think this is what we're supposed to do.
Really?
That
That's
was
awesome.
That I didn't think she would do that. She normally only says yes to, like, beach vacation or Disney or something like
Right,
that.
yeah.
I think God's called us to Disney. That's what she was saying. But,
Right. My wife,
Yeah.
God has called me to Walmart so
That's
many
right. That's right. To purchase these things.
He never calls me there.
But for her, she says, I think this is what we're supposed to do, which has stood out to me, and she still holds that. Now, she does also say, she said, I mean, if you win this primary, it's not. She's like, what have we really won? Because now you're going to be gone. You win the primary, it's over. She said, but what have we really won? That's her take, and so she's spending a lot of time praying through it. It's not that we understand the value of the position, but it is service. And so service to the community, service to the state,
Right.
service to the nation, it pulls you away from, these right here. It pulls
Yeah.
you
Your
away
kids.
from those.
Yeah.
It's just like Charlie Kirk, right? He goes out and look at what he was doing on behalf of this nation and students, speaking truth into their lives, and it pulled him away from his family. Ultimately lost his life because of
Right.
it. And it pulled him away from them. That's what my wife looks at. She says, this is the hard thing for me because I know now that you're going to be they're not moving to D.C. People ask me, hey, how do we know you're not going to go up there and become like every other D.C. elite? Well, you don't know that. All I can say is that I answer to God first and foremost. I don't even answer to you, the voter. I answer to God in eternity for what I say and what I do. Secondly, I do answer to you, the voter, and the way that I let people know that, hey, my heart will be here in Alabama because that woman and those 3 girls on that card y'all looked at are going to be right here in Alabama Monday through Friday while I'm gone. And I'm going to have to travel back and forth.
lot.
I'm going to have to travel a lot. And so it's a major shift. And here's the other thing. It's something that I can do and that I know I'm cut out to do, but it's not necessarily something that like I desire or I want to do. I want to serve warrants. I want to go catch bad guys. I want to crush bad. I want to go kill bad guys with my buddies overseas. Like, these are the things that Jared Hudson desires. I don't want to sit up and argue back and forth, with a bunch of people about something. But if that position of
Is
U.S.
that how
Senate,
you serve?
if that is how I serve, if I can serve my brothers in arms, if I can serve the veterans of the state of Alabama, if I can serve the people in Alabama, agriculture in Alabama, I have family that's farmer,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize
You
this.
said your
until-
granddad's a farmer.
my granddad and my uncle's farmer. 1 in 4 jobs in the state of Alabama is ag.
I didn't know it was that big.
I didn't know it was that big neither until I started running. So
Wow.
when you look at all these things, let's just use ag as an example. People don't realize this, but ag is national security. Sun
it
Tzu
is.
in The Art of War says, I mean, if I can cut off the supply line of food and the stuff, the timber required for infrastructure, then I can take over an entire army without firing a shot, right? And ag is vitally important. Obviously, we see what's happening in Huntsville. We see what's going on in South Alabama, whether it's with Airbus, with the channel that they're trying to make for two-way traffic
Right.
of ships. Developing the port, go all the way to Huntsville, Alabama, and we literally have rocket scientists in Huntsville, right?
That's
Right.
true. And you're going to have the
And
new
everything in
FBI,
between. FBI up
Quantico
there.
#2.
You got Space Command moving there. I've done a lot of training for Space Force, their warfighter training, but you got Space Command moving there, which is a whole new thing. That's huge. And then in Birmingham to Montgomery, kind of in the middle, we're kind of sitting in between those right now. But you've got a lot of what's it called? It's just the reutilizing of infrastructure that's in place, like economic redevelopment of old factories and old places that they're trying to turn into businesses.
Revitalize and turn them back around.
That's it. And with all that being said, there's a lot of that stuff that's going on that I believe requires somebody who, one, has a business mindset, two, has a warrior mindset, and three, again, wants to serve. How can you better serve the people of Alabama? Not, this is the next step in my career. That's the difference.
I like the call to serve. What is it?
I like it.
I thought of you when I saw this. I don't see it now. I lost it. Oh, here it is. From Isaiah. Also, I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?" And you
Isaiah 6:8.
Yes. Here I am, send me.
Here I am, send me. Yeah, that's kind of the heart, and then God works out everything on the back end. Whatever goes on, whatever happens,
I think it's great, man.
I like it. You have a great message. Okay. Sausage or bacon?
No, that's hard. I just like pork. I'm being honest with you. I like
So
pork.
either one.
I mean,
Okay.
it depends on what.
I might shoot a nun for some Conecuh sausage.
I tell you what, you ain't kidding. That Conecuh sausage is good. I'll eat it till I get sick. I'll eat it till I get
me
sick.
too.
That is great.
Like a horse in a cornfield. A horse will eat till he dies.
Till he dies.
I will eat
I've been
Conecuh
known to do
sausage till I die. So,
And it's an Alabama product.
that's right. Now it depends on what, like, it's kind of hit or miss. Like sometimes I just really crave bacon. Sometimes I just really crave that, that good Conecuh sausage, or even just regular, regular
Just
patty
like
sausage.
a politician, right down the middle.
Yeah,
I'm
I
kidding.
mean, yes.
Favorite
They're both good.
Favorite
I'm kidding.
MRE.
Oh, favorite MRE. I mean, it'd probably have to be it used to be called Salisbury steak, but it's not anymore. It's like a burger patty with a wheat bread snack, and then the cheddar. You put the cheese in the little cooker when you heat it up. That way the cheese is melted, and you make you a little cheeseburger, a little
Bless
cheese
y'all's
meat
hearts.
sandwich.
I don't know how y'all.
When I was back in the 70s, when I was in, we were still eating sea rations from
Oh, yeah, the
World
old
War II and
cans,
Korea,
yeah.
cans and stuff. And the only way you could heat anything up was to take your peanut butter and pour your insect repellent in the peanut butter, stir it up, and light it. It was like your
That was your
sterno can.
fire. So
Oh my
But
God.
MREs aren't, MREs aren't bad. A lot of them aren't.
they're not great.
But they're not great either. And if have you
mess
been
your
on an
guts up.
extended period? Does
Yes, they mess you up so bad. I think they're called UGRAs, which are the big MREs that they would cook when we're doing stuff in, like, out in different FOBs or Omegas on the border of Afghanistan and Pakistan. They would ship them in, they would airdrop them in, and they would mess you up. So I mean, we'd go out and shoot goats and get that,
get you some
the
goat
Afghani
meat.
foot
Barbacoa.
But buddy, we'd clean them up. My granddaddy did send me.
Oh no.
I bet he sent me 100 or 200 cans of Spam, and I would take that stuff and I would heat it up and I would put it on the we call it foot bread because they would the Afghanis, the Pashtun people, would stamp it out with their feet.
Oh, it's like
It's like
naan.
a pizza, like naan or like
Yeah.
pizza bread, and then they would put it inside this big kiln, like as big as this
Yep.
room,
They'd
slap it on the
slap
walls,
and
they
they'd
would
puff
cook
up.
it, and we would go buy, tons of that
good?
from them. Yeah, it was good. Yeah. So, and we would cut up I would cut up Spam and heat it up.
Make
and I
a
would put
Spam
I'd
sandwich?
make a
My kids love
giant
Or a
Spam.
Spam
They fry
burrito.
it.
Yeah, that was good. That
Eat
was
it on
better
toast.
than
Well,
MREs.
Thank you for your service and for your
Yes.
friends, especially
Thank
the
you
ones
so
who
much.
lost their lives. We think about them. And speaking of service, thank you for your service in the other areas as well. Covenant Rescue Group, if you want to, y'all are online as covenantrescuegroup.com.
If you go to covenantrescue.org,
.org.
that's the nonprofit. If you want to see anything about the business or the shooting stuff, go to theshootinginstitute.com.
Good.
And then for the Senate race stuff, you can go to hudsonforalabama.com.
Oh, Hudson for Alabama. I did look that up.
HudsonForAlabama.com. Those are your 3 websites that if you want to follow and see what's going on with the team. And
I'm
what we
on your
have going.
Hudson. I joined last night on that.
Okay, all right, good. So if you're on there, if anybody
Yeah,
else
I'm
wants
following
to,
you
it's
too.
CovenantRescue.org is the nonprofit that does human trafficking. The ShootingInstitute.com is the for-profit business, train military, law enforcement, and civilians. And then HudsonForAlabama.com, the Senate race stuff.
All right, final question of the day.
Let's go.
This is a big one.
Okay.
Alabama or Auburn?
Man, you ready for the politician answer? No, I'm an Auburn fan. I've been an Auburn fan for a long time. But
I'm taking my name off your list.
that's right. Yeah. Hey, you had my vote, son. That's what it is.
Listen, no,
but I will say this.
I'm not a hater.
Here we go.
My wife is an Alabama fan. The vast majority of my family, with the exception of my brothers, are Alabama fans. The reason we became Auburn fans, my granddaddy has always been an Auburn fan. Everybody else in the family was Alabama.
He's a farmer.
And so me and my brothers wanted to follow suit with Granddaddy Gene. So we're Auburn fans.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
My best friend growing up, he's still my best friend. We've been friends since we were 5 years old, and we're 72 years old. Never had an argument. I'm like your buddies. I would trust him with I've tried to get my wife to go off with him. But anyway, I trust him with I've tried to, I trust him with everything.
Man, your wife doesn't listen to this, does she? I hope she doesn't.
I don't have a home to go. I may not have a home to go.
Man,
you may need to come rescue me. Because I may be trafficked after today.
100%.
Anyway.
No, you ain't going to be trafficked. You're going to be viewed, not
seen. I'm going to be viewed, not seen. But no, he went to Auburn. Yeah. So I love all, and I like Troy. I like any local team. I love Alabama, but I went to Alabama, graduated there, but I love Auburn. I love all of them.
My husband's an Alabama fan, and it's hard for us to be in the same room together when Alabama or Auburn's playing, because he just dogs Auburn. And look, I was a Nick Saban fan. I did love him. He owned me when it came to the media.
The GOAT.
He was hilarious, but I didn't want him to win on Saturdays.
Sure.
Nick ran a disciplined team. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we're talking about here. You can be a big Alabama fan. You can hate Auburn. You have the right to do that, but you don't want to go shoot somebody because they're an Alabama fan.
Oh yeah, no. Well,
that's this whole thing with Charlie Kirk and what you're, what I worry about with you being in the political scene.
Right. No, I mean, and that's always the risk, and it's but it's God's got a number of days for all of us, and as long as you don't make a choice to cut it short, and whatever happens, happens.
You don't have a choice.
That's right. Don't have a choice.
That's all right. Thank you, Jared. Man.
Hey, thank you for having me, brother. I appreciate it. Yes, sir.
It's been an absolute treat.
Thank you for having me. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
All right.
I think we got if you get in there, I think we got a perfect guy in the job.
Well, thank you. I really do.
I 100% believe that as well. All right, that's going to do it for Morning Mayhem on this Thursday. Again, we were talking with Jared Hudson. He is running for Alabama Senate. You can go back and look at this once the show ends. Give it a minute to upload, and you can come back and watch the whole thing on our Facebook page. It's going to be on YouTube as well, Baden. Yeah, and it's also on YouTube. And before you leave, we're going to get some photos out.
Sounds good.
Too. So, all right, thank y'all for watching and listening today. Again, thank you to Jared for coming in. You're an amazing guy, and wish you all the best.
I just apologize for us because you went on Sean Ryan and he gave you all kind of goodies, and you gave him we gave you a bottle of water, and we got a donut.
No, we're good. We're good.
I mean, come on. If you want the Cinnamon Toast Crunch coffee, you can take it with you.
No, thank y'all for having me.
Right.
Thank you for being here.
Y'all have a great day. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate you coming in on your typical day off for me. Y'all have a great Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow. Morning Mayhem. Been watching live from the Clanton Tractor Studios. We'll see you tomorrow.
Coffee's on, Chilton County's pipe.